yes, StreamYard has let me know that I'm live. Now I just need for YouTube to let you know that I'm live. And then we can continue live timber on this gloomy Friday night. Been kind of dark and gloomy lately, but there it is. The YouTube notification has just been sent out. So now everybody knows that we are live. Good evening. How are y'all doing? What is going on? What is going on? We got like 16 people already in the chat. What is happening? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm glad that you guys, some of y'all are saying that you've received the notification. So I am glad that you guys received the notification. We'll give you guys like a minute or two to come in, and then we'll go ahead and begin the live stream. Yeah. So yeah, let me go back up and make sure I don't miss the top of this live stream. I don't want to miss it when I go through my roll call. My roll call, yeah. Woo. Y'all got here quick. I went from like 11 people waiting to like 25 people watching right now, like in like a split second, like pow. Well, I love Friday night. That's why Friday nights are my jam. They're like, no matter what I do on YouTube, as I always say, I have my biggest crowd on Friday night. So we're gonna give you guys about a minute or two to file in, and then we're gonna go ahead and begin. And yeah, we'll go. I appreciate you, Tech Rant. I appreciate you, Tech Rant. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you sending the crew over to the stream. So thank you, Tech Rant, in the building. Oh boy. All right. 22 people watching right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for tuning in and rocking out. Let's go ahead and get to work, baby. Let's go ahead and get to work. So, current time, 6:32 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means you are in the right place. You are on the right YouTube channel, baby. Yes. And that means if you know where you are, then you know what's about to happen next. If you're a Friday Night Vyp veteran, you know what's about to happen next. But if you're new here, you need to listen to the next part very, very closely. Very, very closely. If you're new here, this is the part of the live stream where I'm going to need you to turn your volume down. Because if you don't turn your volume down, I cannot be held liable for what your neighbors and people around you think about you listening to some loud dude on YouTube. That's on you, not on me. That's on you, not on me. Not on me. I am not responsible. I cannot be held liable. Because you know the intro about to come in hot. So turn your volume down now before we get hot and heavy on the live. Now, with that out of the way, let me get into the most electrifying live stream introduction. This is going to be the weirdest, this is going to be like one of the weirdest, momentum shifts in the history of live streaming. Whoo, you'll figure it out real quick when I get into that. But this is going to be a uberly weird momentum shift. My God, this is going to be weird. All right, so let's go to work. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and we are live. Welcome to Friday Night Vyp, baby. Woo! Oh, yes. It is that day again. We are back. We are live on YouTube. Yes. All right. Yes. Woo. Okay. Before I get started on the live stream, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. First on the list, the Apple jockey himself, Alex Jackson is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? Jason C is here. What's up, Jason? How you doing, baby? We got Jay Brown in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got my enforcer, Genosis, in the cut. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got iOS Gino. What's up, Gino? How you doing, baby? We got my homie 504. What's up, bro? How you doing? Alan Osborne is here. What's up, Alan? How you doing? JT Boateng. What's up, JT? How you doing, baby? John Michelle is here. What's up, John? How you doing? Barry Johnson is in the building. What's up, Barry? How you doing? We got W.L. Wesley Jr. What's up, man? How you doing? Gwendolyn G is here. Hey, Gwendolyn. Hey, Gwendolyn. How you doing? Oh, we got LeBaron Burton. What's up, bro? How you doing? Jose Guzman is here. What's up, Jose? How you doing? We got Johanna. What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? We got my homie from the UK, Marvin Wallach. What's up, bro? How you doing? F. Nick is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Dwayne Mims. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing? Oh, wait. StreamYard is messing up my flow. They're messing up my flow. All right, there we go. We got Shelly saying today. Hey, Shelly, how you doing? We got the general of ranting, Mr. Tech Rat himself. What's up, bro? How you doing? And lover of tech is here, too. What's up, Ben? How you doing, baby? Khalil Majir, what's up, Khalil? How you doing? We got my man Renee Ritchie. Hey, Renee, how you doing? What's going on, man? And Top Tech Geek is here too. What's up, bro? How you doing? Kenny himself is here. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? Fit Blonde Fitness in the cut. What's up, Fit Blonde? How you doing? Tech for your needs. What's up, bro? How you doing? And we got Gabriel T. Black. Hey, Gabriel, how you doing? Manny Sanchez is here. What's up, Manny? How you doing? And who else we got? Let me go down. Oh, we got J. Oh, hey, J.O., how you doing? And Bionic Scoop is in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing? And we got Gamcast 02. What's up, Gamcast? How you doing? Who else? We got Aditya Uppercar. What's up, Aditya? How you doing, man? Technically, T is sneaking in too. What's up, T? How you doing? And who else we got? Let me go down. We got Kevin Richardson. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? T Develops is here. Hey, T Develops. How you doing? And we got Capono 5150. What's happening, man? How y'all doing? I think I got everybody in the cut. Also, shout out to my alert squad, because I did not name 48 people, and there are 48 of you all watching. So shout out to my alert squad. I see y'all out there. Oh, Digital Slang sneaking in there too. What's up, Digital Slang? How you doing? So shout out to my alert squad. I know y'all out there. Oh, we got Disney. What's up, Disney? How you doing, man? How you doing? All right. Like I just alluded to, this is going to be the weirdest momentum shift in the history of YouTube live streams. But we got to have a serious conversation. So before I get started with this conversation, this is not a tech conversation. If you're here for tech, come back later. This ain't it. We got to have some real life conversation tonight. And I need to do this on my biggest platform, which is Friday Night Vyper. So we got 49 people in here. There is no time like the present to get this real conversation out of the way. We got to talk. How do I begin this? I made a comment, or I've been making a comment, but I think this was more recently, maybe like a week or two ago. I made a comment on Twitter or somewhere about how, from where I'm sitting, from what I see, when a creator is successful, like let's say we'll define success in this case as having 100,000 subscribers or more on YouTube. So when a creator has 100,000 subscribers or more on YouTube, people see them differently. They see them as they kind of, for whatever reason, I guess I should say, I don't know, but we kind of dehumanize them once they reach a certain success level, right? I don't know. And as it relates to YouTube, it kind of like we don't really see them as people anymore. We see them as more like corporations just because they have that level of success. I don't know why this happens. I guess just because we kind of feel like we can't get to their level, or we feel like they're so high up. We deify them. We see them as less than human, this, that, and the other. But the vitriol and the hatred that successful people get on YouTube is just magnified times 10 when they cross that 100,000 subscriber threshold. Now, this kind of makes sense because you got a lot more eyes on you when you have that amount of people. But there seems to me, at least anyway, there seems to be a shift and the way we think about creators when they hit a certain success level on YouTube. Now, this obviously applies to outside of YouTube too. We talk about A-list celebrities, athletes, famous people. We see them differently. We deify them. We don't see them as regular human beings. So in the process of like seeing them differently, we kind of dehumanize them. And it's an unfortunate thing that happens, but it happens, and it's not a good look. So yesterday on national television, on a sports show called Undisputed, which y'all know where I'm going if you follow sports. Skip Bayless, he's a nationally known journalist, and he's the co-host of this show called Undisputed on Fox Sports. His co-host is called his name's Shannon Sharp. But Skip Bayless was bringing up a point yesterday, or he was responding to the fact that a quarterback, a high-profile athlete by the name of Dak Prescott, had came out and publicly said that he is going, or he was battling depression earlier this year because of things that were happening in the pandemic and things like that. Now, what some of you may not be aware of is that Dak Prescott also lost his brother to suicide this year. So he lost his brother to suicide on top of going through a pandemic, which I need not remind you all that this pandemic is something that we have never, none of us alive or watching this stream has ever experienced anything like this in our lifetime. It is impacting all of us. But because Dak lost his brother to suicide, because he's going through a pandemic like the rest of us, he was depressed, which is a natural human emotion. But I'm going to show you my screen, and I want to play what Skip Bayless said in response to Dak Prescott going through depression. It has to be one of the most insensitive things I've ever heard in my life. But you know what? I'm going to let you be the judge. I'm going to play this. So this is Skip Bayless talking to Shannon Sharp about Dak Prescott, who's a high-profile athlete, coming out and saying that he was battling depression. Listen up, y'all.
You're commanding a lot of young men and some older men, and they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out. Look, he's the quarterback of America's team. And you know, and I know, this sport that you play, it is dog eat dog. It is no compassion, no quarter given on the football field. If you reveal publicly any little weakness, it can affect your team's ability to believe in you in the toughest spot. You're commanding a lot.
I'm going to play this one more time just so they can hit home how insensitive and insane this fool is. Let me play this one more time for you all.
Of young men and some older men, and they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed.
I've heard enough. I've heard it damn enough. Oh man, wow. Where do I go with this? I need first let me calm myself. Let me calm myself down. Otherwise, it's gonna be interesting real quick around here. But let me get this straight. Because he's a high-profile quarterback, and his teammates see him as a leader, he can't have feelings. He can't say that he's depressed because he lost his brother to suicide. Because he and we are in the middle of a global pandemic. Because he's a leader of men, he can't come out and publicly state that he's depressed or he's going through it? Really? That's what you take away, Skip Bayless. That is your bottom line? Because he's a high-profile athlete and he's the quarterback of a football team, he can't tell you that he's having human emotions, that he's having human feelings, that he's depressed? As if those things go away just because you have money and success and fame and you become a leader, your human emotions, your human side just turns off. I'm sorry, Skip Bayless. It doesn't work that damn way. It doesn't matter what level of success you attain in life. The fact that you are human will never change. You will always have thoughts. You will always have feelings. You will always be happy, be sad. It happens to all of us. It doesn't care about money and fame. And if he was depressed, and if he was or is going through depression definitely doesn't give a monkey's nipple about your fame and your status and your wealth and your position on a football team. Depression is a lot like death that way. It doesn't give a damn who you are. Get bailiff. The hell wrong with you? Not to mention the fact that saying this stuff publicly is dangerous. How many stories do we hear in the news of mass school shootings, mass murderers, serial murderers, rapists, things like that? Because these are the same people that you tell to hold it in. Don't show weakness. You can't say that you're publicly depressed. That's what leads. That's what happens when you have people bottle emotions in. When they don't have an outlet to get their emotions out, they turn to other more destructive ways to get it out. I'm not going to repeat what I just said, but you know what I'm talking about. So this nationally famous dude went on this national show and just said that you should hold it in. If you are a high-profile athlete, celebrity, creator, whatever, you should hold it in when you're not having a good day, when you're feeling down, when you're depressed. Hold it in because nobody cares about your feelings. We don't see you that way. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. The human emotion doesn't work that way. No matter what's happening with humanity, no matter what's happening in the world, one of the things that will never change is the fact that we are all connected to and with each other. I don't care if you're black, white, Cuban, Asian, it doesn't matter. You feel some type of way to your fellow human. And to pretend otherwise is asinine. So when I heard this by Skip Bayless this week, this really hit home to me because I had a day this week where I went to bed feeling like a complete failure in life. And I went to bed feeling like a complete failure in life one day this week because I was looking at, I was looking at pictures or something, or I was on Facebook, something I was doing. And I was looking at how all of my college and high school people or friends are like married and having kids and having, living whole lives and things like that. And then I thought about where I am, single, none of that stuff, nowhere near any of that stuff. And then I kind of thought about my life on YouTube. I've been on YouTube 3 years. There are creators that have been on here around the same time I've been on here, but they got channels that are like stratosphere past mine in subscriber count and growth and things like that. So it doesn't very rarely happen to me, but I actually went to bed this week feeling like a failure in life. So this can happen to anybody. Now, the strange thing with me, though, is that when I'm having bad days like that, normally when I go to sleep, I wake up the next day, it's like my brain like mentally resets. So whatever I was feeling the previous day just goes away. So when I woke up the next morning, I was like a refreshed human being because I don't know, that's just how my brain worked. But it was interesting. I woke up the next morning and it was this month. So it was live timber. I woke up the next morning. I got on my live stream and I invited Renee Ritchie on, and me and Renee chatted for an hour about Apple and this, that, and the other. And I just thought to myself, at some point during that day, I thought to myself, you went to bed feeling like a complete failure last night, but the next day you woke up and had Renee Ritchie on your live stream. I mean, there's not too many people on the planet Earth that can wake up and hit up Renee Ritchie, be like, yo, come talk to me, and Renee will come talk to you. Like, Renee Ritchie is a high-profile figure in the tech space, and I was able to get him to come talk to me like with relatively short notice. So apparently, Viper, you're not feeling that much in life if you can like reach out to Renee Ritchie and come talk to you, and he's right there. So no matter how I feel about where I'm doing or what's happening in my life, I know that at some point I just have to bring it back to my situation. I think who was I telling this the other day? I was telling somebody that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So right now I'm on this journey and I'm happy about where I am on my journey because it allows me different things and different opportunities that, other people aren't afforded. And the other thing that is interesting about life is that somebody always has it worse than you do. So even though I went to bed feeling like a failure that one day, I quickly got over it because, it is what it is. And I mean, you just have those days, but there's always somebody out here worse than me. I got a home, I got a roof, I got a car, I got a job. There's a lot of people that don't have a job right now. There's a lot of people that are scraping around for the next dollar and things like that. So I don't have it that bad compared to the next man. So I'm doing okay, relatively speaking. But that's not to say that I can't have bad days. I can have bad days. And it's funny because when I was having that bad day, I wanted to type about it on Twitter. But I had to, but Skip Bayless and people like Skip Bayless are the reason why I didn't type that out on Twitter. I'm like, nobody wants to hear about Viper having a bad day or failing and things like that. People want to hear about tech from Viper. They want to hear about the next Apple news and Apple news. They don't care how Viper's feeling. So because I thought that way, I didn't really let y'all know. I just kept it in. I held it in. But not everybody should hold it in. Not everybody, you shouldn't have to hold it in. Not everybody should hold it in because, as I alluded to earlier, when you do hold it in, that's when bad things can happen. So tonight we are having a serious conversation. I am here to let you guys know that I have bad days. I know everybody that's watching or listening to the stream, you have all had bad days, and it is okay. I think Roberto Blake says this. It is okay not to be okay sometimes. It's not always going to go perfectly. Things are not going to always go as you have planned. That is life, okay? Life is going to knock you on your ass. That's how life works. You just have to get up off the mat and keep going and live your best life, because ultimately our time here is short. It's finite. You don't know what day is your last. Go out there, live your best life. As long as you're not out here trying to hurt somebody or do harm to others, go out here, live your best life, because you don't know if you're going to have tomorrow. There's no promises. There's no guarantees in life. And I promise you, if you're having a bad day, somebody else is too. So I want to come on here tonight and let you guys know that it's okay not to be okay. I had a day this week myself where I wasn't okay, but I'm a lot better tonight, obviously. But there was a day this week when I went to bed feeling like a failure. And when I heard Skip Bayless say that, as soon as he came out of his mouth with that, I already knew what I was going to talk about tonight. I was ready to roll. I'm like, all right, nope. We gotta address this stuff immediately. And like I said, I wanted to talk about this last night, but I waited till tonight because I know more people watch me right now than any other time on YouTube. Most of my audience watches tonight. They watch Friday Night Vyp. So I wanted to make sure I have my biggest audience on my biggest platform to talk about this, because I want everybody to know that it's okay to express your human feelings and emotions. It's okay to be depressed. It's okay to have a down day. You are not alone. Let me repeat that. You are not alone. We are all battling something, okay? Everybody is battling something, man. It is okay, man. You don't have to hold it in. If you want to talk to somebody, reach out. If you want to talk to me, tweet me, whatever. We will figure it out. But you are not alone. We will get through this. Life is rough, but you know what? You got to be rougher, baby. You gotta just be strong. But it is okay to request help. It is okay to be able to lean on somebody else's shoulder. It is okay to reach out and talk to somebody if you're not having a good time of it, if you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad patch of life. It is okay to reach out, man. It is okay to not be okay, because at the end of the day, no matter how many subscribers you have, no matter how much money you have, no matter what your famous status is, you are human. We are all human beings. We all bleed the same way. We go to the bathroom the same way. We put our clothes on the same way. We are all the same in some shape or form. It doesn't matter how much success we have. We are the same. So hopefully for the first 23 minutes of this live stream, this will reach somebody and they will be able to understand that I'm having a bad time. I'm having a bad day. I'll be okay because I know I'm not alone and I can reach out and talk to somebody. Seriously, if you're having a bad day, reach out to me or somebody. Talk to somebody. Don't hold it in. Whatever you do, don't hold it in, because, like, again, that's when bad things happen. Don't hold it in. Reach out. Talk to somebody. Figure it out, man. Figure it out. Shout out to Jeff, El Jefe Review, for the super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. Exactly, man. The grind never stops, man. That's why your boy Viper is on Live Timber. I'm live streaming every day this month. We're on day 11. I appreciate the 64 you all watching the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out. I seriously appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Also, shout out to my man Renee Ritchie. Yo, Thank you, Renee, man. Again, like I said, it was interesting talking to you the day after I felt like a failure, but it brought everything back. Like talking to you brought everything back home for me. So I appreciate you for being there, Renee. But I mean, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that you guys need to realize. You never know what someone else is going through. So be nice, be kind to your fellow human beings. I'm pretty sure when I reached out to Renee that morning, he had no idea I had went through an interesting night before then. He had no idea I was battling like failure and things like that the night before. But Renee was kind enough to come on and chat with me for an hour the next day. And it kind of brought me back to balance. So thank you, Renee, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man 504 for the super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys constantly supporting me, man. I know this is not really a tech conversation, but again, this is bigger than technology. At some point I had to put that to the side. I need to get this out of the way first before we go into the tech, because this is too important. What Skip Bayless said is unacceptable. Now, people are calling for his job. I'm not of the mindset that he should be fired, but I really feel like he should issue an apology to Dak Prescott. And that BS that he put on TV today about trying to minimize it or trying to like deflect was terrible. That was not an apology. He tried to deflect. I see what you're doing, Skip Bayless. It was atrocious, and you're an idiot. And you should apologize to that man. What you did today was not an apology. It was garbage. But that's how I feel. Shout out to my man Gino for the super chat. Thank you, Gino, man. I appreciate you, baby. Exactly. No matter what your success level is, no matter what your stature in life is, we are all human beings. We are all equal, man. No matter what race you are, no matter success, money, it doesn't matter. We are all the same, man. All right, let me see what's going on in the chat real quick. Laura said, I had a couple of those days lately. I realized it's best to accept you're having a bad day, but it isn't a bad life. Exactly. Even if you're having a bad day or if you're having a bad time, life is a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down. But no matter how bad it is, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And you just have to realize that at some point, it will get better. It always gets better. That's just the way life works. Shout out to Gabriel, man. Yo, thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate you, man. Yo, I think this is like 3 days in a row you super chatted. So probably longer than that. But thank you, man. I appreciate you constantly supporting me. So thank you, dude. Thank you. Yeah, Skip Bayless is like that dude. He needs a break. He needs a break. He needs to be off TV for a while. Like he needs to disappear. Like just go away. I don't know if Viper's the best friend, but I you know what? I understand that at some point I can talk about tech, but you got to put the tech stuff aside when you hear things like this going on, because again, when you got a public figure going out here telling you that you shouldn't be coming out talking about how depressed you are and trying to minimize your depression and things like that, that don't work for me. That does not work for me at all. So no, hell no, it doesn't work. I had to speak out about it, and it seems like a lot of you guys are receptive to what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping that this helps somebody, no matter what you guys are going through. Hopefully you can hear my words tonight and realize that it'll be okay. It is okay. It is okay. All right. Kevin said, I hear you, bro. I was down, no work since March, but I live where there's no COVID-19. I mean, again, I'm glad that you can look at the bright side. You're not working, unfortunately, but you're healthy. So, I mean, there's always two sides to every coin, man. You just gotta, at some point, no matter how down things get, you got to realize that there's always a silver lining. There's always a positive side to everything. So you gotta believe. You gotta have faith. You gotta have belief in yourself to realize that you'll be okay. I think I was watching a YouTube video or something like that a few years ago, and they were talking about the definition of confidence. And their definition of confidence was that knowing no matter the outcome, you will be okay. And to me, that is the epitome of confidence. Knowing that no matter what situation that you might find yourself in, as long as you know that you will be okay with the outcome, that is confidence at its highest level. So definitely. Renee says, yeah, every day you can choose to be a jerk on Twitter, or you can try to make someone's day better. You don't know what you're going through, but you can always choose what you do. Exactly, man. You don't have to be a jerk. You can choose to like help somebody out. It's like, we all in this together, man. We are all in this together. Yeah, Tech Grant. The problem is Skip, he's from old school. And some of those old school cats, they have that antiquated way of thinking, and they need to grow up. He needs to grow up. He's not the only one. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there like him, They need to grow up and realize that times are different and things aren't what they used to be, and life has changed, and we need to adapt to the changes that have happened in life, man. It's time to grow up. It's literally time to grow up. All right, let me go up here and see what I missed. Pretty sure I missed like a bunch of things, a bunch of stuff when I was ranting. Let's see. What we got? Like LeBaron said, he even has bad hours on his best days. Exactly. I mean, it's not always good. It's not always bad, but we gotta. I mean, there's always a silver lining, man. There's always a silver lining. You just gotta rock out. Yeah, I thought I was watching you yesterday, Tech Rant. I kind of noticed that you weren't having the best days, but you got through it, man. I thought you I was watching you tonight. It seemed like you were a lot better than yesterday. So I'm glad you're feeling better today, man. I mean, sometimes you gotta be strong, man. You gotta be strong and just try to get through it, man. Just try to get gotta go, man. Just gotta get through it. Gotta get through it. Oh, I was telling you about the journey. Okay. I know I was talking to somebody about how it's more about the journey than the destination. But hello, Christina. How are you doing? Dwayne, since I appreciate you for speaking on this, we all going through some stuff, man. And men especially need to be able to vent. Yeah, I know this is I know there's this societal like taboo about men speaking out about their emotions and how they feel, but that stuff needs to change. I mean, men have emotions, men have thoughts, we have feelings, and we should be allowed to express them without risk of being ridiculed. It's just it's terrible. Like there are a lot of things that are happening in society that need to change. Seriously. Shelly says people forget to treat athletes like humans. I also get angry when you can't express how you feel about politics or racial injustice and only get shut up and throw the ball. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff going on. Again, just because they're athletes, they're not allowed to speak out about the injustices happening in the world. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're athletes. They still got to worry about driving home at night because the cops don't care that they're athletes. If they're feeling some type of way, I mean, it is what it is. We all go through this stuff. It doesn't, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter about your stature in life, your fame, your money, your fortune. None of that matters. When you are having a bad day, it's gonna hit you like anybody else. It don't matter. We all have a bad day. We all have to figure out how to get through it, and we have to all realize that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to reach out and talk to somebody. Whatever you got to do to get right, get right. Don't feel bad about reaching out and talking to somebody because somebody will listen. Somebody will listen to you. Somebody will listen to you. You just gotta understand. All right, I think I caught up with most of the stuff. Yeah, I think I caught up with most of the stuff at the top. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. All right, Fit Blonde says, depression is real. I had a breakdown at work a few days ago. Mental health is huge, especially when you're not getting everyday human interaction. I haven't even met my 3-month-old goddaughter yet. I'm sorry to hear that. It's rough. It's rough for everybody, but man, we just gotta find a way and find somebody to talk to. If you're, like I said, if you're having a rough time, find somebody to talk to and just try to be strong and try to get through it. Yo, Wartime, what's up, man? How you doing? For those of y'all that missed, you got to go back and watch the replay. I can't even begin to try to recap what I just put out in the first 25 minutes of the live stream. You'll have to go back and watch the replay, but yeah, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy. I think we got my man. Where'd he go? Where is he? Late but still great, Zach Talk Tech. What's up, Zach? Yeah, man, you got to go back and watch the replay, Zach. I talked about people being insensitive and being insensitive against people with depression and things like that. And yeah, you just got to go back and watch the replay. I don't know, man. It's just we got to be better human beings. At the end of the day, we need to be better humans. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. We got to be better human beings and understand that we are all going through a battle. And you can't be too big to think that you're doing better than somebody else when they're hurting. Like, recognize somebody's hurting and don't be afraid to help out, or don't be too proud to help somebody out when they're in need. I mean, it's okay to be nice. You don't have to be an a-hole all the time. You can help people out. You can help people out. Where we at? Dwayne said, Vyp, did you see the crowd boo? I saw that, and I don't even know what to say about that. like I don't know. People are weird, man. People are really, really weird. It's really, really weird. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I thought you'd be tired of streaming, but if you're not tired of streaming, I will definitely give you the link. Me and Megan here, and I will go over here to my Twitter, and I will get you a link, man. But I mean, I think it's kind of cool because, like I told you guys, Tech Rat is also streaming every day this month, and he just streamed before I went live tonight. He had a good stream with Lover of Tech, so I figured he'd be done. But he wants to come talk to me, so I'm gonna let him come talk. Why not? I'm not gonna deny him. This is a conversation that we all need to be a part of. So where now? Oh my god, hold on. Why isn't? Oh, that's again. Okay. There we go. Okay, I got it. All right, Mr. Tech Rant. The link is in your Twitter DM. Okay. Oh yeah. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Gwendolyn says, "What? Let's talk about what we can do if we're having a rough time. Self care. You can help." Man, you know what? It's weird, Gwendolyn, because it's different for everybody. You know, we all have different ways that we grieve things, and that's the other thing that we, as a human race, we need to realize. Everybody handles things differently. How I handle things is probably not how you handle things. So, I think first and foremost, you need to figure out what makes you happy when you are in a bad spot. What are some of the things that you can do, or what are things that you need to do to get you back in a good space, or at least get you back on the right road? And it's different for everybody. For me, I try to remain positive at all times because I think so much negativity, especially while we're in the middle of a pandemic with things going on. I just want to stay positive, and I try to avoid the negativity at all costs. So I try to stay positive, but you know, a lot of times, especially given what's happening today, it's hard to do that. So when you get to that point, you got to figure out what makes you happy and try to indulge yourself in that as much as possible. Just figure out what makes you happy and go from there. But let's bring in my man, Mr. Tech Rant. Good evening.
Yo, what is up, Vyp?
What is up? Wow, I don't know. I don't like that. That's much better.
All right. Yeah, man. I wanted to chime in on this because a couple of things. That whole conversation from Skip was just dumb, and I bet any amount of money he wouldn't have said that to Dak's face. It's
Hell, of
easy.
course not.
It's easy to get on camera and say stuff that you would never say to another grown man's face. And it's easy to talk about things that you probably have not experienced. Okay. Having a family member commit suicide is an experience that most people will never experience.
Right.
And it's even worse to try and understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the depression that can come from that, there are people that even get like a survivor's guilt because they're like, dang, was I not enough for him to live? Was I not enough
Hey,
to
Trent.
Yeah.
They're asking you to turn up your mic.
Oh, sorry. I had to bring it closer.
There we go.
All right. But no, like there's like this survivor's guilt that people get where it's like, man, did I not do enough to have that person live? Like, could I
Right.
have done something that would have stopped them from taking their life? And I'm sorry, I could not I could have not have had the reserve that Shannon had. Straight up.
Yeah.
Because the other part of this conversation is I went through something similar like this as far as the depression, because today is September 11th,
Mm-hmm.
and we all know why September 11th. But September 11th for me is always a tough day because September 11th is the day that my sister died.
Mm.
So what happened to me was I was in the military, I was in the Navy, I was stationed down in Florida. I remember getting a call, and I remember the time, 5:45 a.m. in the morning. And it was my mom, and she was on the phone just crying hard. And she told me, like, hey, your sister, she's gone. And the amount of emotions I had, I wouldn't have been able to go anywhere near a helicopter that day because I used to inspect helicopters. We used to make sure that they were ready to fly and all that stuff. Um, I lost it. I cried. I yelled. I screamed. I let it all out. And if anyone would have told me what Skip would have told him, I would have put hands on him real quick, and I wouldn't have cared.
Yep.
Because you can't tell me that I'm supposed to put that aside and just go out and go. And there's this whole thing with and I have a very, very big problem with this. There's this whole thing where for some reason people like to use military analogies and examples with the NFL. People will like to say that these quarterbacks are generals
Yep.
leading their troops into battle.
Yep.
They'll use all these different terms of war and the fight and all that stuff. And it's like, you have never been in a war. You have never served. You don't know what that's like. Okay. These men are going out to play a sport, to be competitive. They're not going out to kill each other, which is what war is. You go kill somebody else, or you don't come home. It's not that serious. And the level of emphasis that they put in the pressure they put on people, and then to turn around and say it's just a game is just crazy. You know?
Yep.
And I never ever understood that. Like, imagine that. I would say, Skip, imagine if that was your wife who committed suicide and you said you felt depression and you couldn't come on Undisputed, and another grown man said to this camera on live TV, I got no sympathy for you, bro. You signed a $5 million contract with Fox and Undisputed, you know.
Right.
And the crazy thing about this is there is a double standard. There's double standards with women, but there's especially a double standard with men. Now, if you say something, right? You say something, oh, you're weak. You should have kept that in my day, XYZ, blah, 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 whatever. And we drag people for that. Or there's the other double standard of you keep it in. It drives you crazy. You finally blow up and lose your cool on somebody.
Yep.
And they find out what happened. Why didn't you say anything?
Yep.
Why didn't you go get help? We would have understood. Why didn't you let us in? And that's the other part of this whole conversation of all of this where we expect to know every single move that they make. You know, we got pictures of football players on TMZ at the grocery store. Oh my God, they're buying a package of Skittles.
Right.
You know, all this critique and all that stuff. And like I said, just looking at it from the outside in, looking at it as a veteran, looking at as somebody that likes football, looking at it as from one man to another, I would never in my life think once about doing that to somebody, ever.
And like I was talking about,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like I was talking about earlier, I'm bringing into the Skip Bayless, Dak Prescott thing, but this stuff happens in all walks of life. The very analogy that I made at the beginning of the live stream about how people dehumanize successful creators that have maybe over 100K or more on YouTube, and they dehumanize them and they deify them. They completely it's like these people don't have emotions to them. Like you think that Justine doesn't have bad days? She does. You think Marquez doesn't have bad days? He does. You mean they have bad days? They're human. That doesn't mean they should be just because they have that level of success doesn't mean that they should be dehumanized because they have bad days. Because I promise you, they have bad days. I mean, that just because you have that level of success does not make you any less human being. We are all humans.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm looking at the chat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for that. The other thing that I see, especially with creators, large and small, okay? Something happens in the world and it affects you. It affects you on a level to which you are willing to use your platform to get it out, right? because everybody wants transparency, right? Everybody wants to know that you're being 100 and you're being straight up with them and you're not being fake. You go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, whatever. You put out your opinion or your feelings out there and people drag you for it. Stick to tech. Stay in your lane. We don't want to hear about that from you. We came to you for tech.
Right.
If I wanted to hear XYZ, I would have went so-and-so somewhere else. So there's this whole total disregard and disdain for what people actually feel. But then if you don't say anything about something that's going on, hey, why aren't you speaking up about this? What is your opinion on so-and-so? If you feel like you're so within the fight, silence is not an answer. And then, you're sitting on the other side of the keyboard like, what? Wait, how? What do you want? What do you want? And I feel like a lot of creators can't say that without getting some, combative, whatever. But that exists. You see it on Twitter all the time. How many people literally popped up out of their chairs and told Jonathan Morrison to basically shut up?
Every time he tweets about the stuff, every time.
How many times? And he could not say a single word about it. He could keep on making videos and living his life and enjoying his life and everything. Dude took time out of his day to address an issue, and people want to crucify him for it. But if he didn't say anything about it and something was going on and he was still, showing his videos or whatnot, people are going to look at him. Oh, well, he doesn't care. He just wants to get his videos out. The country's coming to an end. This is a national emergency, but all this guy is worried about is some phones. And that's that two-way street.
Yep.
You can't win.
Yeah. Like it's so crazy. And again, that goes back to what I was saying about Jonathan Morrison having that level of success, and people don't want to hear like human thoughts and emotions from him. They want tech from him. They want content. They don't care about how he feels about the election or the pandemic or anything like that, because that's not what they want from him. But Jonathan Morrison is like me, like you, like Renee, like Andrew. He's a human being. He has thoughts, he has feelings, he has emotions, and he should be allowed to get those out without backlash like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, why is that such? It's crazy, the level of expectation and the rules that we expect certain people to follow that we don't have for ourselves.
Say that again.
Okay, and then this is towards anybody who said some crazy ish or whatever towards that way. If you called in sick to use a sick day and your boss berated you for doing that and you felt some type of way about it, guess what? If you did that to someone else, they felt some type of way about it too. Just because somebody does wrong towards you doesn't mean you can't do wrong towards them.
Yeah, man. People are a strange lot. And I really want to come on here tonight because, like I said, this is my biggest platform, and I know most people watch me tonight more than any other time I'm on YouTube. And a lot of creators won't necessarily come out and talk to you guys like I talked to you guys tonight, because they know they're experiencing the same things that I'm talking about tonight. They know that if they had the same conversation with you all that I'm having, they will be ridiculed. They'll be told, "Oh, we don't want that from you," blah, 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 blah. So you'll never hear some creator come out and tell you that they had a bad day or they're feeling like a failure in life, because they know that they'll get ridiculed and backlash for that. But I don't care. Like, it is like this channel, and for me to do whatever I want on YouTube, I don't have any rules when it comes to this live stream channel. Okay. On the other channel, I cover Apple content, and that's all I cover. On this channel, it's all things go, because I need an outlet, and I use this as my outlet to communicate my thoughts and feelings about tech, not tech, whatever. So when Skip came out on a national show and said what he said about Dak Prescott's depression, I already knew what my Friday night was going to be. And here we are. I had to address it because I can't let that slide. I mean, you are literally telling a grown man to hold in his thoughts and emotions because he's depressed, because he publicly came out and said he's depressed after he lost his brother to suicide, not to mention the fact that that young man is actively going through a pandemic And not to mention, try to play a football season this year too, in the middle of a pandemic. He's going through all of this stuff, but yeah, he's not allowed to feel. He's not allowed to have emotions just because you and your antiquated way of thinking dictate that he's not allowed to feel that way. Get the hell out of here. Stop playing. Ridiculous.
I will say this, and I said this in the chat earlier. I would be highly concerned with someone's demeanor and conduct if they had that happen to them and they brushed it off like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a family member that was close to you, you know, forgo abuse and all the other crazy examples that people are going to use. If you had a family member that you were close with commit suicide, and you can walk out the front door and still put a smile on your face, like today's a good, bright, sunny day, and it doesn't matter at all, I have questions for your mental.
Yeah, that's scary. That's literally scary. And that's the other thing that I was alluding to earlier tonight. When you tell people like a Dak Prescott that you don't want to hear that from him, and you don't have empathy for him, you're basically telling him to hold that in. And like, I don't want to even get into what I said earlier, but that leads to situations that we really don't need in the world. And I alluded to this stuff earlier, the things that are happening in school before the pandemic started, the unfortunate events in schools, and just people becoming bad people because they don't have that outlet to let people know that they're not having a good time. People will have to be allowed to feel. They have to be allowed to express their emotion. They should not be made to hold it in, because like Trent said, when you hold it in, it's literally like a ticking time bomb. And again, like I mentioned earlier, people will handle things differently. One person might be able to hold that in and be perfectly okay. The other person might not be able to hold it in, and then that time bomb goes off in a way that just is detrimental to everybody. So we got to have a better way to allow people to communicate and feel no matter where they're at in life, because at the end of the day, we are all human beings.
Yeah, man. Because to be honest, I held part of that. I held part of that in when that happened, and that actually destroyed one of my relationships.
Exactly.
I ended up taking it out on somebody, and saying some things that I ultimately regretted. Saying it out of pain, but it didn't work. I held it in for a long time, but it didn't work. It came back out, and it came out with some stuff that even if I said sorry for, they don't want to talk to me ever again.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's just being real, that's.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, luckily you are you're of the level that you were able to learn from it, and I'm pretty sure if you were in that situation again, that you will probably handle it differently because you learned from that particular situation. But not everybody can be a Trenton Marshall. They don't have the mental capacity to learn and figure out how to adjust to that situation. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, I think we can move on from the heavy stuff of this live stream. I see Tech King Mike, Saturday Night Tech Fight, just entered the chat. Hello, Mike. How you doing? I'm going to address you, but I'm going to address you later. I told you I got beef with you, but we gonna talk about that later. Since I got Trenton here, I'm going to talk to Trenton about some stuff that he just said, like on his live stream, because for those of y'all that survived the heavy stuff, I appreciate you guys hanging out for like the first hour through the heavy stuff. Now we can get to the tech stuff of the live stream. So our buddy John Prosser came out today and said that there will be no 120 hertz display on iPhones this year. And I watched Trenton and Ben have a lively conversation about how Apple isn't held to the same standards and how people interpret Apple not having certain features, this, that, and the other. I have always maintained that I felt like 120 hertz is the most overrated tech feature ever. Like, to me, it doesn't fundamentally change the way I use the phone. So if a phone has it, okay, that's fine. It does make the phone feel smoother and faster a little bit. But if a phone doesn't have it, then that's okay too. I'm not gonna worry about it. It is what it is. But you got these hardcore tech nerds out here that will tell you that, oh, the iPhone doesn't have 120 hertz. It's not gonna sell well. Well, I'm not gonna buy it. And I'm thinking to myself, do you realize for the past 2 years, the entry level iPhone, has been the best selling iPhone in North America without a 120 hertz display? The regular everyday Joe doesn't know what it is or cares about a 120 hertz display, but y'all put such a big deal on that. Do you realize that a 120 hertz display is a niche feature? Okay, it's niche. Most people don't care about it. They don't care. All they care is that their phone works and they can do what they got to do. They don't care how smooth or fast it is. I mean, if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty of this, if I'm gonna be serious, I think the only people that really care about a 120 hertz display are gamers, literally, because it actually affects how they interact with their gaming. But if you're not a hardcore gamer, I don't even know if you care that much. But I'm gonna let Trent elaborate on his thoughts about things. I thought he had some interesting thoughts about this.
Well, let's go ahead and go based off of your intro. I'm probably going to work a little bit backwards because I can't remember all of it. But so my point was this, okay? If you want 120 hertz on the phone, cool. I'm fine with that. If you don't want 120 hertz on the phone, cool. I'm fine with that. My point is to keep that same energy. If you are willing to critique an Android device at a certain price range for not having 120 hertz on that phone, and that is your main sticking point, but you're not willing to criticize Apple and their Pro lineup for not having the same thing, and you're willing to give that a pass, that's the part that I take some sort of an issue with because it's not fair. Okay. Now, if one had 120 hertz and the other had 120 hertz, and your opinion is that 120 hertz is better on Android, or your opinion is 120 hertz is better on iOS, fine, I get that. But I've seen in the past where people were critiquing OnePlus phones because they had 90 hertz instead of 120 hertz. They were literally ripping the phone because they had 90 hertz. Then they went to 120 hertz. Then all of a sudden, well, everybody doesn't need 120 hertz. Okay, well, what about the iPhone? The iPhone has 60 hertz. Oh, well, that's fine if the iPhone has 60 hertz. Why is it fine? And then the other conversation comes back around. Well, the average consumer doesn't care about that. Okay, so if we're going to use the premise of saying that the average consumer does not care about certain features, then why is it when it comes to critiquing devices on features that the average consumer does not care about, do we place such a high importance on that? Like I said before about the whole bezels thing or whatnot, I've been told by people, average consumers don't care about bezels. Average consumers don't care about hole punches. Average consumers don't care about notches. But those are the things that we crucify phones for. All I'm asking is for people to keep it in the same realm. That's all I'm asking for. And if I'm not seeing it from a certain point of view, somebody let me know, because I got to be missing something.
No, when you put it like that, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if we're going to critique Android phones for not happening, then we definitely have to critique iPhones for not happening. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about phones and mobile devices that are being sold to millions and millions of people. So we gotta put them on the same level field, same playing field to some extent. Now, obviously, when you talk about iOS and Android, those are two different operating systems. So you kind of have to grade them differently because they each do their own little individual thing. But you can't ignore what the market is doing. As much as I say that a 120 hertz display is not important, I can't ignore that the OnePlus 8 Pro has it, the Note 20 has it, the S20 has it. There are other phones I think that have a 120 hertz display. So the fact that the iPhones this year won't have it, that does matter. I mean, people are going to make purchasing decisions based on whether or not a phone has that feature. But I'm just arguing that for most people, it's not going to make a big deal. And I see my buddy Andrew Evans out here. I love Andrew. He loves to battle me on stuff like this. But Andrew says that just because I think where would they come and go? He said such because people don't know what a feature is doesn't make the feature not important. I mean, but if they don't know what the feature is, or they don't know how it impacts they're using the phone, does it really matter? I mean, if you put an iPhone 11 and let me take it back. If you put an iPhone 11 Pro Max next to a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, turn on 120 hertz on the Note Ultra, and have the regular person use the two, are they really going to detect the difference? I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but Trenton, am I wrong? Or what do you think about the Trenton? I don't think they're going to detect the difference. I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing that's tough to tackle about this. And usually I try to stay very neutral, as in where I see multiple sides. I try not to, lean too much. Like, I have my own biases and my own opinions, but it's about what's important to you, and it's what's important to most customers who buy that product, as opposed to average consumer, because that term can go in so many different directions. But like I said before, it's if you're going to set a bar, be even across that entire bar. All I'm not saying 120 hertz, you need to have it. I'm not saying that you don't need to have it. I'm not saying it's useful or useless or whatnot. All I'm saying is if you are going to give Apple a pass for not having 120 hertz, you need to give other phones a pass for not having 120 hertz. That seems to be the main disconnect between the two sides of what has what, and it goes both ways, because sometimes people will criticize Apple for not having something and then Android has it, or vice versa.
Right.
In this conversation, I go the opposite direction. But like I said, my main point is you cannot tell me that average consumers don't care about something and then harp on features that average consumers don't care about.
Right. I got you. I got you, Andrew. I think we're both agreeing with each other then, if that's the case, because I do agree with you, Andrew, that the feature, having the feature can enhance the experience. But like I was just making my point that, like I said, if you put an iPhone 11 Pro Max next to a Note 20 Ultra, I would say almost 80% of the people won't detect the difference, but the hardcore nerds will, because they're looking for it. But you know what? Let's bring in a third opinion about these type of things. We got to bring in my head of security, El Jefe Review, because we need to be level with this stuff. Don't we do, El Jefe?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Got off early enough so I could join you, man.
It's been an interesting hour so far, El Jefe. I can tell you that much.
Oh no, for sure. No, I was, I was in the chat and I was lurking as long as I could. I kept having to drop in and out as I was doing my work. But yeah, there was a lot going on there, man. But for first things first, Vyp. My wife sends a hug. She was like, she'll send Viper my love. Make sure you say hi to him and stuff. So yeah, for sure, man. I'll let her know what's up, man. But yeah, man. So no, there's a lot going on, man. I know there's a lot of hubbub around the 120 hertz and stuff, man. I'm neither here nor there, because I'm not about to sit here and start. I'm not put it like this. I'm not about to sit here and start griping and crying about the 120 hertz, because either way, I'm buying an iPhone 12. So you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh no, there's no screen. And then 2 months later, hey, guess what? iPhone 12 unboxing. Nah, man, it's I don't about to do all that. I'm about to do all... No, but you know what time it is, man. So,
but going back to Trenton's point though, we especially after review, we have to be balanced across all phones. Yeah, we can't like favor one phone over another just because we like that phone.
Yeah, no, we gotta have philosophical consistency as much as possible. You can't. It's like, come on, you really do got to keep that same energy. You can't apply a different standard to something else just because it's not how this works.
So I know I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. It's almost like when you have a creator that's a tech reviewer on YouTube and they talk about iOS and Android, but they have never used an iPhone. No. You can't do that. You can't give an opinion. You can't give a valid opinion on iOS if you never use it. You can't give a valid opinion on Android if you never use it. So even if you don't like iOS, even if you don't like Android, you need some experience in either or to give an opinion. If you haven't experienced it, your opinion means pretty much nothing because you don't know. So you got to at least have some type of knowledge about what you speak if you're going to be a creator in the tech space on YouTube, because talking about things that you don't know about, not going to work.
No, and I had homies who used to go back and forth on that wouldn't not like us, like yourself or Trenton or myself, where we carry both iOS and Android. You know, there, you know, I actually had a friend back in the day before this whole YouTube thing, before all that, back in the, you know, iPhone 4 days and iPhone 5 days, I had a friend who used to switch. As soon as a new iPhone would come out, he would switch to an iPhone. But like maybe 4 or 5 months later, if Samsung came out with a new one, he would switch to that. Or back then, like HTC or whoever it was. So he was like at least twice a year, he was switching between Android and iOS, whichever one was better for him at the time. So that was the only person that I knew that actually had a solid perspective that you could go to and be like, hey, dude, so what's better right now? And he would just tell you the truth. He'd be like, nah, right now, you know, the iPhone 6S is really the one to roll with. You know, you can't really mess with this other stuff. But he always kept it a buck. So I totally agree. It's difficult to make an informed statement if you haven't lived with something. You know what I mean? Like that was what I really appreciated. Shout out to Jonathan for hooking me up with that iPhone 10s, because I really couldn't appreciate what it was like using Apple devices until I finally owned one. And then, well, you know, now I'm trapped. So, I mean, I still use both. Don't get me wrong.
Akon locked up. He locked up like Akon.
I'm this close. I'm one MacBook or iMac away. I'm one MacBook or iMac away from being or Mac Mini away from being totally trapped. So, but you know what time it is, though, man. I mean, this is how it goes. But I really do like it when people get both sides of it, because I have people tell me that kind of stuff all the time, even on the headphone and earbud side, where they talk about how, you know, their AirPods, and then they went to the AirPods Pro, and that's like the best thing on earth. And I'm like, have you tried anything else?
Ooh, I gotta get Andrew at work. I think he's firing a shot at me, but I mean, this might be the worst shot you ever fired, Andrew, because I am pretty sure that there is a meme of me out there slapping a HomePod, Andrew. I'm not gonna get on you. I like you, Andrew, but your boy Viper had a HomePod at one point. So,
you know, well, man, I just wish that would have happened when Trenton was doing the we'll be right back one.
Be careful, baby. If you fire shots, don't miss, Andrew. You're firing shots, don't miss. You just missed that one.
I got to go back in time and find that now.
I know, right?
Dude, there's a video out there about me slapping a HomePod, because it is what it is. All right, so we got people that want links. All right, I'm gonna send y'all some links. We got Mike out here that want a link. I'm gonna give Mike a link in a minute. But I want to go back to what Trent said in his live stream earlier tonight. He was talking about the naming or the iPhone being called Pro, and he was talking about how if you're not gonna have a 120 hertz rate, then what makes the iPhone Pro? And I think he makes a very good point. I mean, I think that this whole Pro naming stuff, especially as it relates to iPhones and iPads, it's more about marketing than it is about the device being actually Pro level. Because truthfully, the iPad Pro and the iPhone Pro, they're not really professional devices. They're just the upper tier of devices. So
yeah,
if we put it in terms of like automobiles, you got Ford, and then the luxury branch of Ford is Lincoln. So the iPhone 11 is Ford, and the iPhone 11 Pro is the Lincoln. I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean, that doesn't mean that the Lincoln is professional. It just means that the Lincoln is more specced out. It's more blinged out. That's all it is. So it's marketing. It's all marketing, man. That's all it is.
That's what's
I mean, where I was going with that, because I'm trying to figure out how to make this long story short. Everybody always told me, Trent, you need to have one before you talk about it. And to a certain degree, I understand where you need to have the phone in your hand. You need to experience the lineup before you talk about it. So I've had a MacBook Pro, so I can talk about having a MacBook Pro and the things that annoy me and the stuff that's in between that. I own an iPad Pro, so I can talk about the differences between an iPad Pro and a regular iPad and how few that there are in between and all the things that drive me crazy about the whole laptop replacement thing. And I currently have right here an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I've used and owned an iPhone 10R, and looking at the jump in between the two, I'm still questioning where does the Pro level come in. You know, I understand. I will concede and say I understand that the Pro moniker is marketing, which is fine. Okay, it's marketing. I just believe that maybe we shouldn't call it Pro. Maybe we should call it another Apple name. Let's call it Apple Edition. You are getting the Apple Edition phone. You are getting all of the luxury stuff that you don't have on the regular phone, but the performance is going to be the same across the board. You have the same chip. The difference in RAM is 1 gig. There's no difference. Exporting videos is pretty much going to be the same. And all the other examples that people want to use, microphones, Face ID, cameras, and all that stuff is performance-wise going to be the same. If you are a consumer, if you hear the word pro, not only are you going to think that it might be higher quality or better materials, you're going to think it's faster. You're going to think it does more. Okay, that's just the nature of the beast. And that's just the only part that I come into somewhat of a disagreement with. Also, when people like to say that, hey, it is for average consumers, but I'm going to show you all of these pro things that you can do with it. Okay, now you're basically taking the device and you're trying to make it shown as a pro device. So I'm going to judge it based off of the way you are presenting it. And that's kind of where I'm going with all of this.
No doubt, man. Tech King Mike, Andrew Edwards, you got links in your Twitter DMs if you choose to use them. Trenton, we just had the conversation recently on your live stream about the iPad Pro and how I told you, I think the title of your live stream was the iPad Pro 2020 was overrated. And then I made the comment, no, you actually mean the iPad itself is overrated because the iPad Pro and the iPads are pretty close in what they do. I mean, the iPad Pro might have more like hardware features, but as far as software capability, the iPad and the iPad Pro do the exact same thing, damn near. I mean, there is no software like differentiated between the two models. So when you talk about the iPad not having a file system, when you talk about the iPad not having pro level applications like that, like a Final Cut and things like that, that goes across all the iPad lines. That's not just a Pro thing. So yeah, when you say the iPad Pro is overrated, I mean, you're talking about the entire iPad line because they're all lacking in some way.
And in that entire stream, not once did I mention a single spec about processor,
right,
or RAM, or Geekbench, or nothing like that. I purely talked about the usability and the roadblocks that I ran into. And like I said, yes, pro is marketing if you're in this tech space. If you go outside and you ask somebody off the street, hey, do you want the iPhone 11 or do you want the iPhone 11 Pro? And you don't tell them about the price, they're naturally going to go towards the Pro because they're going to think that it's fundamentally better as far as how they're using it. They're not thinking that, oh my God, it has stainless steel. They're not thinking, oh my God, it has oleophobic coating on the glass and a super XDR XYZ display. They're not.
Yep, that's true.
As much as, you know, if we're keeping it at 100 with the average consumer stuff. And this is where I just want to meet people in the middle with all this.
Okay.
That's why I said the iPad wasn't bad. I didn't say it wasn't worth it. I was just saying the emphasis that they were putting on it was overrated.
Correct. Right. And this kind of extends to cell phones too, because if we look at the Galaxy Note 20, let me take that back. If we look at the Galaxy Note 20 versus the Note 20 Ultra, software-wise, they're the same device. The Note 20 Ultra doesn't do anything different software-wise that the Note 20 does. They have the same software. They do the same things. The Note 20 Ultra is Ultra because it has better cameras. It has, I think that's what it has a better display. So it has better cameras, better display, and that's pretty much the end of it. I mean, like I said, if we break it down to software, there's literally no difference between the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra.
Yeah, everybody got tripped up about that plastic.
You know what?
I'm sorry. Polycarbonate.
You know what?
Gotta get it right.
You know what? I did kind of. I think I made the comment that charging $1,000 for a plastic phone is a little ridiculous, and I still think it is. But if we're being honest, I think it was Mark Burrow said on Twitter that actually plastic is more durable than glass when it comes to phones, and he like plastic better on phones than glass. And I kind of agree with him. Like plastic, I mean, if you drop a plastic phone, it's not going to shatter like a glass phone. And plastic phones are kind of better to hold in the hand as opposed to glass, because glass can get slippery, you got all the fingerprints and things like that. So in actuality, plastic phones are they might be a little bit more manageable than glass phones. But of course, with the glass phones, you get that more premium feel to them. But I mean,
so here, real quick, I want to intervene. This is nothing against you. This is just the whole term plastic phone. Is the Galaxy Note 2, is the frame made out of plastic?
All right, I know.
The frame and the back is plastic. I just want to be sure before I continue.
You say Galaxy Note 2?
No, I'm saying the Galaxy Note 20, you know.
Oh.
Is that plastic on an aluminum frame, or is it plastic on plastic?
Like I think it's probably plastic on an aluminum frame, I'm guessing.
Okay.
I
think a lot of the criticism is unfair because when you say something is a plastic phone, people think the entire thing is plastic. And if that thing does have an aluminum frame, only the back part is plastic. And so in that case, I just say that the Galaxy Note 20 is priced wrong because there were plenty of people that came out and celebrated the Galaxy Note 10 Lite, which had a plastic back. It just wasn't $1,000. So that's why I think things are getting messed up. Like if you say, oh my God, $1,000 plastic phone, they're thinking everything is plastic.
Yeah, dude, they trip people up, man. And honestly, when I think you got to get a little perspective too. Now I know $1,000 is high, but plastic phones in and of themselves are not bad, you know. And it's, I don't know, I really like having like, for me at least, with the Pixel, the 3A, the 4A, they feel great. So I have no issues with that. You know, I don't even want to put a case on my 4A, and I done had offers, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
They got offers. They have it though. Travis the fool. They gonna make a pro in regular videos.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that Apple Pencil Pro. What about you?
Oh, dude, they better not. They have
the Watch Band Pro.
LeBaron said, could it be that Apple predicted the coming market and knew they had to make a separation of devices? The market will be forced to buy cheaper devices as a whole, and the Pro will be looked at as an ultra premium. I mean, I don't know, because but Apple started doing it back in 2014 when they made the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus. I mean, obviously the 6 Plus was bigger, but besides being bigger and like maybe having an extra camera lens, I mean, the 6 Plus wasn't really much different from the regular iPhone phones back then. So I don't know. But Apple, like I said, Apple is they're kind of tricky with their marketing, right? It's like me and Trinity was talking about. Is an iPad Pro really pro? Not really. Is an iPhone 11 Pro really pro? No. It just have more little amenities, if you will, than the regular iPhone, but it's not really pro.
Yeah.
Could you highlight Dwayne Mims's comment?
Let's see. People said it felt cheap. I don't know if that's true.
You got to go back up a little further.
A little further. You go back
what
up.
About the MacBook and the MacBook Pro?
Where am I not? Hey, hold on. Let me see if I can find the comment. Here we go. Okay.
So with the MacBook and the MacBook Pro, I'm assuming we're talking 12-inch MacBook, or are we talking MacBook Air? But even then,
either or, dude.
There is a
huge difference
between a MacBook and a MacBook Pro.
Yes.
In terms of what you can do and the capability.
Ooh, yes.
Now, can you do a lot with a MacBook? Sure. But there's a certain point to where a MacBook Pro smokes a regular MacBook when you get into certain, activities. Now, if we're talking about just surfing the web, we're talking about being on Instagram, we're talking about typing papers and doing all the regular college stuff, cool, fine, or whatever. Once we get into 4K editing, like real 4K editing and doing other stuff for video production and stuff like that,
it's over.
You can do it on a MacBook, but it's not as quick or as fast as doing it on a MacBook Pro in the spec levels you can get. Like, I even think Greg's Gadgets had tested it out where he got like the maxed out MacBook Air and he put it against like the lowest end MacBook Pro, and they were like really close, but that was a base model MacBook Pro, I believe. So there's you can get a clear difference in performance between the two, and that's why I harped on the fact like you can see the difference between a MacBook and a MacBook Pro. For a while, you could see the difference between iMac and an iMac Pro, but now that the iMac has caught up so far, you can't see the difference. But there was still that pro moniker and what you can get. And there is clearly a difference between a Mac Mini, basically, and a Mac Pro.
Oh yeah.
So like I see those pro lineups as actually being pro, whereas anything that seems to be a mobile device in the terms of you can attach a cell phone payment plan to it as not pro.
No doubt. So he think I'm not looking at him, but I'm looking at him. Let's bring in my man Techie Mike. Got his back turned to me.
He's like, "How dare you?
Turn around, Mike, turn around." Yeah, you got caught slipping.
Like, you got to turn that mic on, baby."
I ain't even. Oh man.
Logan's out there in stream. How are you all doing?
There he is. Now
There.
I'm gonna need you to move that mic closer to your mouth, though, man. Yeah, move that mic closer.
This is all a part of my master plan.
There we go. Beautiful. Right.
Mike got the bokeh cracking off today. I'm over here peasant status with a webcam, baby.
That's funny. Every time you're using a webcam, I can't tell you're using a webcam, man.
No,
I
man,
couldn't either until he said something.
no, it was just good. Cause I got the Canon right here. No, this is how I run my because I do the Zoom calls all day for work. So there's no point in trying to run a DSLR for Zoom calls. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm like, so I save it for the streams, baby.
There you go. How you doing this evening, Mike?
I'm good. You know, I'm just relaxing, just enjoying the stream. You know, agree and disagree with some things that have been said this evening, but I'm also just just relaxing, chilling, waiting for the main event in a little bit.
I'm glad
I'm waiting for the main event. So
I'm glad you're here. You know I gotta talk to you, but we gonna wait for that. So you wanted me to link you in. So I'm guessing you got something on your mind. So you said you agreed and disagreed with something. So what's on your mind, Mike?
Oh no, I was just wanted to link period just because I wanted to jump in with you guys, but also no, I kind of like I'm disappointed that there won't be 120 hertz on the new iPhone, more so because to me that was the only thing that I thought they might be able to do new this year. That's the only reason why I'm disappointed in it. Otherwise, it just feels like it's going to be another 11 Pro just with a squared off body, and that's it. It doesn't feel like there's going to be anything worth upgrading. But like I said last night on my stream, I'm probably going to buy one. Knowing me, more than likely.
I felt the same way last year with the iPhone 11. I felt like it was going to be an incremental upgrade. Apple really couldn't do anything special with it, but then they just went out and handled business. So I'm not going to doubt Apple. They are the masters of doing interesting things. When you think they can't do anything, they just bring it home. So I'm going to wait till the phone comes out and then I'll reserve judgment. But I kind of agree with you. I don't know what they can do differently from what they did last year, but I said that last year, and then the iPhone 11 Pro Max came out banging. So I don't know.
But let me put it like this: I'm far more excited for those AirPods Studio than I am for the iPhone 12. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
John Prosper up there tweeting over there. We better see John Prosper. You better have some proof of concept, baby.
Well, I was rubbing Birdman hands together. As soon as I saw that tweet, I was like,
"Yeah,
we're ready."
Because I've been waiting to replace these with something, and it's between the XM3s or XM4s. But those AirPods Studios, if I like what I see, I might have to go and spend that money.
I hear you, man.
You might change the game, but I think the AirPods Studio are going to be more for people that have like multiple Apple devices because they have hot swapping between all your Apple devices at the same time, and that's going to be game changing. But if you only have like one or two Apple devices, then you're not going to. I don't know if they're going to be that much of a must get, but I mean, either way, they're going to be good though. I'm waiting to see what they bring to the table with that.
Yeah. No, it'll be dope either way because I'm like I said, we've all been waiting for it for a while. I was ready for it in the summer. I already had the money set aside. I had allocated funds, special ready to go, and I was like, all right, and then it got delayed, and then we got the XM4s, and it is what it is. Skull Candy got the new ones too.
Yeah.
But we got different flavors and it got different strokes for different folks. So Baseheads better rejoice. My crushers got delayed. They were supposed to be delivered today. And then I got a notification this morning talking about they coming Tuesday. I'm like, how dare you?
I love how we start talking audio and Gamekey gets sneaks in here. What's up, Gamekey? How you doing, man?
The disrespect of Amazon to delay a headphone delivery.
Wow.
How dare you?
I will say I budgeted money for the Xbox Series X, and now I get to save money because of the price of Series S.
So are you going to get the X or the S?
I'm probably going to get the X just because.
Okay.
Man, my dude Gameski in the building though. What's up, man?
I watch
Yeah, man. GameSkey slid in here. GameSkey was like AirPod Studios.
Yeah, right here. Audio is like quick. But speaking of Xbox and consoles, I love how my man Mike tried to misinterpret what I was saying. I was listening to you last night on your stream, Mike, trying to misinterpret me. At no point did I say the PlayStation was better than the Xbox. I have always maintained that the Xbox would be the more powerful console.
Trent. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Trent.
If y'all gonna make faces and stuff, y'all better show me some proof of work. Show your work. But
all right, let me go to Twitter.
Okay.
Go to Twitter.
let me broach this subject.
Yeah, broach the subject.
While I do not have proof,
okay.
The implied was that Xbox was basically trash and PS5 was killing it. So I'm just saying
Microsoft was failing because Microsoft didn't have the exclusives.
There we go. Now you're speaking my language. Exactly. That is what I've maintained for the last month or so. It's not that the Xbox is bad, it's that the Xbox has no games. And that has not changed. I was looking at an article the other day about what games they're going to launch with the Xbox. And when they're talking about Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed, I'm like, these are all games that are going to be on PlayStation 5. Ain't none of these like home run hitting games that you must have for the Series X or games that are going to showcase the Series X. They're just multi-plat. Like where on the PlayStation 5, outside you have Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank and Horizon Zero Dawn. Listen, as much as you guys, what in the hell is LFA doing over there? What are you doing, LFA?
I was showing you my version of the side eye.
Hey, look, LB said he got receipts. Everybody in this chat got receipts.
Show me you can't misquote me. I speak the English language perfectly. I know the Xbox is going to be the most powerful console. I concede that. But if you ain't got nothing to play on that bad boy, then I don't care how powerful it is. I need the game. I am still waiting for Microsoft to give me a reason to buy the Series X. And I will admit, I will admit,
give you a reason.
I'm getting there, Mike. I'm getting there. I will admit that the Xbox All Access is pretty tempting, pretty compelling, I should say. Being able to buy it in monthly installments of $24 or $25, depending on which console you get, that is very compelling. I mean,
they know we broke.
Yeah, but
they know it.
The other thing is that the fact that they're really literally trying to push Game Pass, which I still don't care about Game Pass, but the fact that they're trying to push it along with that All Access plan. That is a very good way to get people into that ecosystem. If you're giving them Xbox Game Pass with the monthly payments and they don't have to pay up front for that console, that's hot. I mean, I can't handle that. I cannot handle that.
Andrew Edwards is the GOAT. That's all I'm gonna say. Andrew is the GOAT.
Andrew's roasting you from the chat, man.
Andrew is the GOAT.
Again.
Michael, are you sure you want
second time you're wrong tonight. I did not. What did I say? I did not know.
Look at.
I'm pretty sure that I said that you will have options with PlayStation 5. The storage on PlayStation 5 is not proprietary like it is on Microsoft. If y'all gonna come at me, don't miss. You keep missing, Andrew Evers. Stop missing, okay? Stop missing. Y'all missing tonight. I don't understand this stuff.
For Viper, let me help you wrap your head around this, right?
Yeah.
So the only one main argument is that they don't have any flagship titles at launch. Okay.
Right.
While that may be true, I think that there's only a very small percentage of people who buy a console for 1 or 2, maybe 3 exclusive games and then basically play those games for the rest of their life. A lot of people are, one, coming from Xboxes that are old and aging. Microsoft said that they're no longer selling the Xbox One X or the Xbox One S. So you really don't have a choice but to either go on eBay and find a used one or go get another console for $299, which in 2020 is beyond reasonable. Payment plans, people are going to want to sign up for that. And $499 for next generation level playing ability. Now, they may not have the games at launch, which I think is a little bit of a disservice, but still, that's not going to stop people from buying an Xbox who are in Xbox. Just like we talk about how Apple, when they come out with certain stuff, they may not have the feature that is on an Android device, but they're in the Apple ecosystem, so they're going to stick with Apple. There are people who bought Xbox from day one and they love Xbox and they've had a good experience with Xbox and all their friends are on Xbox. And the same thing goes with PS5. But just saying that they don't have titles is not a good reason to just say PS5 won. That they don't have exclusive titles, because
boom.
I've played some of the PS5 exclusive titles. I've liked some of them, and then I've hated some of them. I would feel very bad if I bought a whole ass system for an exclusive game, and then I hated
gonna play
the
Spider-Man 365 days a year.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, exclusive
love-
titles ain't it.
I love how you Xbox do want to gloss over the fact. So, let me bring up the fact real quick before I even get into this though, real quick.
Oh Lord.
While you are correct, Trent, that people are going to stick with Xbox who are already in the Xbox ecosystem, the interesting thing about what Microsoft is doing this generation is that the Xbox Series S and X won't have any games that are built just for them until 2023, which means every game that comes out between now and 2022 can be played on your Xbox One,
Nope.
One S.
Nope.
Yes.
No, it can't.
Yes.
No, it can't, because if you have an Xbox, they are giving you the option to buy the games now for the next generation console. You can't play games on an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X if they're not selling them anymore. So a year from now, the exclusives might not come out until 2023. But if next year somebody wants to buy a new Xbox, they can't go buy a One S or a One X. So they have no choice but to go ahead and get a next gen console.
No, they already have the One S. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Series S. So my bad. It's confusing.
Viper, if your Xbox right now craps out, can you go to the store and get another Xbox just like it?
Depends on which one you got. I know they did.
You got a One X or a One S. You can't.
You can't get a One X.
Right. The One X
order a One X right now.
Yeah, they're to continue. You're right. They're to continue. But what I'm saying, I'm saying, that already have them. The people that already have them, they have no reason to go out and get the new console, because all of the games that are coming out for the next 2 years will be playable on their current Xboxes. And now we get to the sales grab, which I have presented on the screen.
No, they have a reason.
You hush. I'm working
native upscaling. Native upscaling.
Oh, gee. So somebody's gonna go out. All right. First of all, they have to have a TV that's actually going to take advantage of that upscaling.
Right. Okay.
Are you really going to buy a console just for upscaling, Trent? Really?
I'm glad you said that. Why? What is your reason, if you are not a YouTuber, to go get a new iPhone this year, if you got one last year?
We don't know. They're not out yet. We don't know what the new iPhones are going to bring, Trent.
Hey, Trent, I got you. Tag me in.
Y'all are missing tonight. I don't understand. Now, before I was so interrupted by Trenton, if you look at the lifetime sales of the PlayStation 4 compared to the Xbox, as you can see, PlayStation has 50% of the market share compared to Xbox, what, 20 or whatever the hell that says? Even the Nintendo Switch has more market share than the Xbox One. Why? Because people understand that the PlayStation has better games. At the core of it, you all, it is a video game system, and you need games to showcase your system. If you don't have the games, people are going to go buy a Switch or a PlayStation 4. So I love y'all loyalty to the Xbox, because I was an Xbox dude long before I was anything else.
So
but they need to have some games to draw people in.
So riddle me this, Batman. We're using market share to determine what's better. That's what we're using. Wait,
look! What do you mean? Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
So McDonald's has better burgers than Five Guys because they sell more, right?
Ooh, first time you didn't miss it. I like that. Okay. I see where you go. Keep going.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of times, especially in tech, we will use the words best selling because it's sold the best, but that doesn't ultimately determine that it is better.
Okay.
Overall,
but,
I'm just putting that point.
I got you. But these systems have been out for 7 years, and these numbers largely haven't changed over 7 years, because over 7 years, even when the consoles have had price parity or whatever, Xbox have failed to like get any big time game for the console to lure people in.
So
And they're not and then continuing with the next generation.
So here's one of the things I look at.
Oh boy, here we
right?
go.
I might be wrong,
All right.
but hear me out. Now, Xbox is a North American brand,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
North American, whereas Sony is an international brand.
Okay.
The way I look at it, like whenever I hear people talk about Xbox, they're usually in the US. Whenever I hear people talk about Sony and the PlayStation, you hear about the US, you hear about Japan, you hear about South Korea, and around the world. So kind of the same way with like Apple and Android. Apple is a US brand. They're around the world too. But I
Mhm.
hear way more people talk about Android being an international type of thing. So
Okay.
maybe, just maybe, that might have something to do with it. I could be wrong. I'll wait for Andrew Edwards to correct me.
Oh, he's here too. He's here. Let me bring in my man Andrew Edwards. We've been taking shots and missing all night. What's up, Andrew? How you doing?
Oh, I didn't realize you could. I don't know how many people can you have in this.
10.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it used to be 6, but they updated it to 10.
Andrew's indoors. What the?
What's up?
Oh, wait a minute, he has a proper mic for once. Wow.
I'm in the middle of shooting an unboxing, and I'm like, I just gotta get in here. So I move my camera to the side.
It's like freaking Piper ruining his productivity, man.
That's right.
What's on your mind, Andrew?
Listen, I don't even know where to start. All right, listen.
I made it weird, didn't I?
The thing about the exclusive titles for the Series X and S not coming for about a year or so, Microsoft actually has backtracked on that now. And so what they've said is it's now up to the developer to, I forget how they phrased it, but like to provide the best experience they believe for their customers, something to that effect. I've always maintained personally, obviously this is just an opinion, that the medium is the most exciting Xbox Series X launch title, even when Halo was still on track to be released day one. That's still a day one release. So there are definitely good titles for the Xbox. Ratchet and Clank has not been confirmed as a day one release. It's just a launch period release, which last generation launch period meant within the first 4 months. So anything that comes in the first 4 months is considered to be, for some reason, a launch title. But when we're talking about day one, you pick up a PlayStation 5 and you pick up a Xbox Series X or S, you will have way more to play on one of those consoles than the other, and it's the Xbox. Now, here's the other thing. The PlayStation 4 will the Viper. I got him to take his glasses off. That's rare.
The truth hurts. The truth is
now,
the truth will let you see.
PlayStation 5 will allow, you are correct, it will not require the proprietary storage. However, it will require the fast PCI storage, which means you're going to have to buy that storage. And I checked today. If you want to buy one of those, which is non-proprietary, it is literally $10 less than the Xbox proprietary storage for the same amount of storage.
I believe it.
So you have to buy that, but you may also have to buy an external enclosure for it. So it may end up being a wash. So I'm not defending the pricing. I mean, the pricing is what it is. Even look at Trenton, man. That just scared the hell out of me. If you bought one of those, even to put into your PC, it's going to be the same price. It's just that's the price of these things right now. And unfortunately for these consoles, you need a large amount of storage, or you just end up paying a lot because you're buying a large amount of storage. I don't even remember everything else. Those were my beginning points. But also Spider-Man is just an add-on. It's not a full-on game.
Oh, so no. Get out of here, Andrew. You've already confirmed it's a full-on game. Don't you even try that. Hey, did you really just say that one of these things is going to have more launch titles than the other one? Are you really?
No, that's not what I said. I said one of them is going to have more to play than the other one.
Yes,
one will have more games to play.
Yes, you did. Because you're alluding to Xbox backwards backward compatibility. Are you serious? Really?
At least,
That's your argument?
at least when I buy a Series S, I don't have to buy a new controller.
Oh, don't make it a trade, Andrew.
Right.
You're going to buy a brand new Xbox Series X or S to play their old ass game, which they can already play, and that's your argument. That's your argument.
No, I mean, my argument is this: not everyone who buys a new console has owned the previous console. That's number one. For example, a lot of children, it's their birthday. They ask for a new console. I want a PlayStation. I want an Xbox. This could be their very first console. So let's say this is their first Christmas getting their first console, and they get an Xbox, and their neighbor kid gets a PlayStation 5. On day one, if you're the Xbox kid, you may not have played all these games. You have a library of games to play on your new console, whereas the PlayStation 5 person, there will be games, obviously, for the PlayStation 5, but you're going to have to pay $60 to $70 each for each game. So when you think about the value, it's not, you have to remember, it's not just us. This goes back to every argument, like the 120 hertz and everything. The world isn't just us in this chat and the people watching us where we care about all these things. We've owned every console. We're going to own every console that comes out next time. Most of the people in the world they have one console, and they may have had a PlayStation 4 last time. Like, let me try Xbox this time, or vice versa. So my point is more the value that you're getting. Right? The value that you're getting on day one, the games you're getting. And the other thing about multi-platform, here's the thing you have to remember about multi-platform, because you can't write it off. Multi-platform, current generation, talking PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, games are generally coded, optimized towards PlayStation right now, because there are so many more PS4s than Xbox Ones and Switches for that matter. But you have to think about this. The war is no longer hardware, it's number of players. And if PlayStation 5 hardware outsells Xbox Series hardware, but Xbox combined has more hardware and Game Pass subscribers, then that means there are more Xbox players than PlayStation 5 players. And games will then be optimized first for Xbox. And I think that's what they're going for. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. Quick side note, not to get things off track, but what the hell is Apple doing with their game streaming?
Oh, no. We're not even going there. Nope, not at all. I love how you try to like cubby hold that argument about more Xbox players than game plan, blah, blah, blah. But as this article clearly states, Andrew, the PS4 has over 65 million more install base than Xbox. What are you
That's what I just said.
PS4.
That's what I just said.
May.
For current generation, absolutely.
Viper, think about it like this. Viper, think about it like this. Viper, look at it like this. All right, let's say Trent and Andrew are their parents, right? Let's just say that both of them, I said that's why I called you both out, fool. but let's just say that like Andrew said, their kid wants a console. Think about it like this: you're in the store and you see this Xbox for $300. You see a PlayStation 5. We'll just say we'll give Sony the benefit of the doubt, $400. All right, so $400, you have to pay 50 or 60 just for one game, versus if you look at that Xbox, $300, and for 15, I have access to over 100 games.
Or pay $25 a month, or just pay $25 a month.
Or pay $25 a month. So I don't even have to pay $300 up front. I just pay $25 a month, and my kid can have a brand new next generation console with over 100 games already ready to play. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. It doesn't matter if it's a Sony or an Xbox or whatever. That's a no-brainer at the end of the day. As a parent, that's a no-brainer.
Over 200 actually, with EA Play being added in.
I mean, that's over 200. That's the same thing happened the other day. I was in Best Buy. I had TJ with me, and I was pushing him in the cart. Kids, they look and they see stuff, and he saw like, what was that? PJ Mask on DVD. So he wanted to get that because we still actually have one or two DVDs laying around the house. I'm like, no, PJ Mask and all of your other cartoons are on Netflix. I'm not about to pay $30 for one DVD, and I pay $9.99 a month, and you can watch whatever, whenever. And similar to that with Netflix, you can watch it on your computer and you can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your Xbox and do that same thing. Whereas now recently, with all these people that just bought the Note, guess what? You're going to be able to play your Xbox games on your phone and on the console. That's going to be a really huge thing. The fact that you can play a game on your phone, right, on Xbox and have an Xbox game, that save data is most likely going to transfer over to your Xbox game on your console. It's a win both ways.
Isn't all cute and cuddly.
Oh, come on now.
What y'all are failing to realize is that the current console generation has been going on for 7 years. So this Xbox Game Pass that y'all so laud so much, most of the people have already played.
Game Pass has not been going on for 7 years, though.
It hasn't.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Not at all.
It
does matter. It does matter.
Game Pass have already been out. They're not new games. These games have already been out.
But you don't have to pay $50 to $60 to play them like you do on a PlayStation.
Well, if you want to play them, you're going to play the ones you're going to play, and you're going to pay for the ones that you want to pay for. But again, what I'm saying is that these games have already been out. These are not brand new games that are on Game Pass. These are games that are already out and being played right now.
They also have new games though. Any new first party game gets put there day and date.
Here's a question for you, Viper. Okay, let's say you're a 6-year-old kid and you've played your first God of War game, right? You played it as an exclusive on PlayStation 4 and you can't get it on Xbox. Fine, I get you with that. Now, let's say you talk to your friends and you talk to some, older family members, and they're like, no, you got to play God of War 1. You got to play God of War 2. You got to play God of War 3. Okay, if you go back to buy that bundle, that's an additional purchase you have to make. Whereas if this was on Xbox and you were playing God of War and you wanted to go back and play the original God of War, it's already in your subscription. Same thing for kids who are just now playing Kingdom Hearts 3, who were not alive when Kingdom Hearts 1 came out. And now they want to go back and play the original Kingdom Hearts because they've played the 3 and they want to know what's going on. And they want to play it instead of going on to YouTube and watching a Let's Play for 11 hours. They actually want to experience it. They don't have to go out and buy that game now. They can easily just go and get the game because they already have the subscription.
Can also look at it from this perspective. Let's just say there's a game that came out. All right, Viper, you're buying a PlayStation 5. The world knows that. Let's just say there's a game that comes out and you're like, man, I'm buying Spider-Man day one, but this other game looks interesting, but I only have the budget for Spider-Man. As an Xbox player, I might say, well, if I just wait a week, that game will be on the Game Pass and I can play it. It's not always old games on the Game Pass. Like Andrew said, they have new games that come out. So whereas you have to spend $50 to $60 to get that game, I just wait a week and I can play it for $15 a month, as much as I want.
But the only thing about that is all the new games aren't always going to be on Game Pass.
Right. They're not all going to, absolutely.
Not all of them.
That's true, but I'm talking about in the case of older games with the more like the games I mentioned, they would be there because they're legacy titles. We're not talking about going back and playing, non-obscure games that no one cared about and were never sold or anything like that. I mean, even look at it this way. I'm pretty sure you might have experienced this when you were a kid. Maybe you didn't, maybe you did not. You ever remember going to the store and it was your birthday, you had N64, you had PlayStation, and your mom was like, all right, pick out one game. And there was all of these awesome games to pick from, but you had to pick one. And that was that one game you were going to have for at least 2 or 3 months because mom wasn't about to spend another $60 on a cartridge that you have to blow off and stick inside of an N64. I had to pick between Pokemon Stadium and Super Smash Brothers.
Tough choice.
Okay, I'm only going to say this one time so y'all can all understand where I'm coming from. Nobody wants to buy new hardware to play old games, okay? We are looking for the next generation of games, the next generation experience. And right now, Xbox ain't got that. We're still waiting. Not to say that they won't have it, but right now, it's not there. Whereas PlayStation 5, it's there. And that's why most people are looking forward to PlayStation 5 right now and not the Xbox Series X. Because they want the next generation of games, the next generation game experience.
Hey, Greg,
why would you say that the next generation is not on the series consoles?
I just want to say to Greg's comment, Greg, I myself and about 20 other working adults that I play with on the regular basis, I work 12 to 14 hours a day, and I'm in school, and I take full advantage of Game Pass. Full advantage of it. I think I take full advantage of Game Pass. Just wanted to put that out there.
How much time do you playing on games on Game Pass, Mike? How much time though, realistically?
I would say I usually budget my time to where Friday, Saturday, and Sundays when I play my Xbox. So I get all my classwork done throughout Monday through Thursday. So when Friday comes, I can do stuff like this, like, you know, get in your butt about it. I can also enjoy the weekend and stream, and yeah, I play my Xbox. And I usually play with, I mean, like I said, I got 10 people that stood next to me at my wedding. All 10 of them are on right now, and they work full-time jobs too. So, yeah.
I would argue that, again, personal opinion, but I think Medium is absolutely a next-gen game, and that's a day one launch title for the Xbox. That's the launch time I'm looking forward to most, including Halo. But to say, like, even if you take multi-platform games, that the Xbox Series X doesn't have next gen on day one because you could play these games on PlayStation also, I don't think that's that valid, because you can still play them on the Xbox, which means you're getting next gen games, even if they're not exclusive games, but they still have next gen games. It would be like saying you have a video that you can watch in 8K. Well, I can watch it on my 4K TV. So just because you can watch it on your 8K TV, it doesn't mean that it's ready for next generation because I can watch it on my TV also. Well, no, it has better. Now, obviously, it's not going to be that same jump. I'm not talking about 8K gaming. They're not launching with 8K gaming. Just using that as an example. You can have multi-platform titles, and if they perform great on the Xbox, then it's not like there's no next-gen experience there.
You cannot bring me multi-platinum games when you just said yourself you can play those same games on PS5.
But why not? If I buy an Xbox and then I buy NBA 2K21, am I not getting a next-gen experience? You're saying I'm not, but why not? If I buy an Xbox and I buy NBA 2K21 for the Series X, doesn't that mean I'm getting a next-gen experience?
You're getting a next-gen experience, but you're not getting a next-gen exclusive custom experience customly designed for the Xbox Series X. Where is it? You said medium. Okay, medium. All right, I give you medium. Medium looks good. But where are the other games now? Your main flagship game has been delayed to 2021, so that's already off the table.
Okay, but that sounds kind of niche, and that sounds kind of niche according to me, because it's like, okay, how many people, and I would love to do a poll or somewhere, how many people are buying the PS5 strictly because of them having next generation day one ready to go exclusive titles for that?
Are you serious now? Are you serious?
I would think that number is smaller than what you're basically.
You're not going to have a lot of day one titles. Neither one is.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying, like, Viper, you're speaking from the group of the person that wants the best of the best, everything that they want, the cream of the crop, right? Right? Or the top, the highest, most demand that you could want. That's what you're coming from. And you're excluding regular people. Regular customers.
I'm not excluding anybody. I'm talking about people that want to enjoy next generation games that they can't get anywhere else.
So how many will PlayStation have on day one? Because I believe it's not going to be a lot.
No, it's not going. I mean, it's not going to be a lot, but it's going to be more than what the hell's going on Xbox for sure. But you're right, it's not going to be a lot.
Right. The one is obviously supposed to have more, or is going to have more than the other, and in this case, it's going to be PlayStation. But neither one is going to have like a full library of games within the first 3 months. So I don't know. I think it's more about the long term, and you can't really clown on backwards compatibility when taking. I know we talked earlier about the phrase average consumer, but the average consumer is, that matters to the average person out there. The average person who's buying a console, having a library of games they can play on this console, you can sell your Xbox Series X, or not, I'm sorry, Xbox One X or Xbox One S or Xbox One. You could sell that to help pay for your new console, but still play all your games.
Yeah.
And with backwards compatibility, like, okay, you're a parent, you just bought your kid an Xbox or whatever, and they bought all these games. They bought all these games. And then now it's time to get a new Xbox, and and hey, mom, we need to buy all these games over again. What do you mean? My system's not backwards compatible, so all the games we bought don't play on the new system. What? So you're telling me I got to buy games all over again? Yeah, mom. Well, you're getting one game, and you go sit in that corner because I'm not about to go buy all these games again.
You know what I did like though? What I did like is the fact that now, even though I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but first of all, either way, I'm getting a PS5 just to put that clear, just to make that clear. But I still play. I have Game Pass, and I play my Xbox games, and I don't even have an Xbox. So it's all my Xbox One took a dump, but I downloaded all my games on PC. I play them on PC with an Xbox controller. And dude, I have access to all of the games that I want. And the thing that tripped me out the most, which I didn't realize until somebody tweeted about it, I had full access to Flight Simulator. I was like, wait a minute, what? So it was like day one.
Said that earlier.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So that's kind of cool. So here's the thing: for any of the games that I may want to play, or even if I want to buy an Xbox game, put it on the PC and I can play it on my PC. I'm gonna have basically the best of both worlds when I get the PS5, because I can get all the games that I want both ways, as far as I can tell. So far, I mean, it's been kind of the best of both worlds at least in my estimation. What I'm doing right here, Game Pass is cool. Like the game selection so far is okay, but I think they're going to continue expanding it, and I think it's going to end up being kind of cool. So, I mean, so far it's worked really good for me. But you got to have some storage space, I'll tell you that much. But I think that goes for both anyway.
I can't wait to see how many kids get mad when their parents put them on punishment by canceling their Game Pass.
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
What? You
That's
screwed up in
rough.
school? Nope. Canceling Game Pass.
Take that Wi-Fi away, bro.
Turn it back on, please.
It should be noted, you can plug in a regular USB drive into your Xbox only to store previous generation games.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about, like, if you only have the 512 gigs or the 1 terabyte and you start downloading Game Pass games, you can store those on cheaper storage. It's the current gen, the new gen stuff that has to go on those super fast drives.
Yep. Listen, and I love how Mike kind of been quoted me, but at the end of the day, like I said before,
I'm sorry, I was playing a game on my Xbox. I'm sorry.
you do that. You go ahead and do that. You do that.
I was just browsing the over 200 games available on the Xbox Game Store through Game Pass for $14.99 a month.
You're so fancy, aren't you?
I feel like links in the description box down below.
Yeah, no, I just thought I'd browse some of these $5 games.
Quote me yesterday. I did not think about the PlayStation being better than the Xbox system. Why? We know the Xbox is the most powerful system, but make no mistake, the PlayStation 5 can outdo the Xbox, God, 2, maybe 3 to 1 entirely. It is what it is. But the PlayStation is going to have the better games, and over recent history, the recent history tells you that the PlayStation can have better games, even in the long run, because Microsoft, I mean, I think it's been like, almost a year now since they've had an actual AAA exclusive game on Xbox, period. So for whatever reason, Microsoft Studios are having trouble delivering good, like, exclusive games for that platform. I don't know why. Hopefully get better with the Series S and S, but
I can tell you why. And this is not a good answer, or it's not a good reason. They purchased roughly, I believe the number was about 30 game studios 2 years ago, or between 2 and 3 years ago, over that time frame.
Yep.
And put them to work making games, but none of those games have come to fruition. My assumption, and this is just my assumption, is they bought them all so that they can have exclusive games for this coming generation to compete with PlayStation having all their exclusive games. So I believe all the the game studios that they bought are working on games for the Series X, Series S consoles. And so therefore they have not put out, like you just said, huge AAA first-party titles for the Xbox One. I don't know, Gears 5, it might have been the last one, which is over a year old at this point.
I really hope that those videos get to cranking on these next generation games, because like you said, I remember that too. I remember I think it was E3 2018, they announced they brought like 5-10 studios, and like you said, they brought more since then. So you would think with all the studios that they brought that they will be coming with the exclusive games, but they're turning them out a little slow. But hopefully, like Andrew said, they'll be coming out over the next few years with these exclusives, and then we can have an actual conversation about this. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
I agree, fellas. I gotta roll out, man. But I'm gonna catch everybody later. Everybody have a good evening. Take it easy.
Yeah.
We gotta get to work. Plus, I gotta free up the stream because my brother's got a show tonight. So you know how he does it.
All right.
I have faith. Thanks for
I
appreciate you.
Yeah, man. All right, fellas.
I'm trying to unbox this. I'm gonna get back to work.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Be watching.
All right, you go do your unboxing thing, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all have a good one.
And then down to 3.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Thomas, are you done quoting me, or do we have more words here?
No, I'm actually gonna go ahead and get ready to go myself because it's 9:30 and it's my Friday night Rainbow Six Siege night, which I played thanks to the Xbox Game Store Game Pass. But I just no, seriously. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but like this conversation is hilarious because one of my friends discovered a game called Golf with Your Friends, and it's the stupidest game that I've ever played, but it's so addicting. And for the whole week, anytime he's jumped in the party with someone, the first thing he says is, "Have you ever signed up for the Xbox Game Pass available on the Xbox Game Store for $14.99 a month?" So it's like, while we're talking about this, I've been hearing this all week. It's like it's burned in my head. But no, I was just gonna speak on the situation that you guys talked about earlier with the whole Dak situation. I just wanted to throw this out there and say this. I have been asked before in DMs as to why I Twitch in videos, because I do Twitch every now and then in the video, and it is because of the fact that I actually deal with anxiety and depression on a regular basis. Comfortable talking about it because, you know, if you don't talk about it, people don't know about it. I think what Skip said, you know, I feel like there was more context to it, but I also don't agree with it at all. And I think it was really honorable of Dak in the times that we have right now to be the leader of the team and show that vulnerability and be that person, because what good is a leader if a leader can't let you know that, hey, I go through it too.
Right. You
know, like I think that's just I really I admire Dak for being able to come out and say that. And like Trent said earlier, if you lose a family member, let alone to apparent suicide, and you don't feel anything, I gotta wonder what hell you crawled out of. I gotta wonder because I lost a friend earlier this year to suicide, and it messed me up. Like it really messed me up. So yeah.
Man, sorry to hear that, man. Damn.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. You know.
No, it's I was gonna say funny, but it's not really funny. But it's interesting that you say that you Twitch, because I never noticed you Twitch in the video. So didn't know that.
Yeah, I usually have like it's not like a Twitch, like, you know, like a Tourette's or nothing like that, but I have like a nervous thing that I do, because getting in front of the camera talking, I usually get like a nervous thing going. So like, you know, I don't mean to say it is what it is, like it is what it is, but my friend was, if you saw him, you thought he was the happiest person in the world. And we all got a call, got a text. I'm in Florida, he's in Georgia, in my hometown, and we got a text that you know, and it was just kind of like, you know, would have never saw it coming. So you never really know what people are fighting and going through, and to be able to speak about it, you know, it takes a lot to be able to speak about it, not just as a man or black man, woman, whatever, just period, to be able to talk about it. It takes a lot, you know, because we've all gone through our days where it's just like you really just want to give up, but it's that keep pushing and keep moving, and you never know how somebody else is looking at it. Like, man, I wanted to give up today, but I see, you know, LeBaron going through what he's going through, and he's pushing through. Everybody knows where LB was a year ago. You know, he so avidly talked about it. We all know where he was. Now look at him, you know.
Yep.
Pushed. You got to go through it to get through it, unfortunately. But if you get to it, it's worth it. You know, it's the journey.
Definitely. And like I said earlier, don't be afraid to speak up about having a hard time. I mean, we're all human. We all go through it, like Mike said. It's normal. It's life. But you got bad times and you have good times. It's not always going to be bad. So just stay strong, try to get through it. And if you need help, reach out and talk to somebody. Nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
Appreciate you
That's
sharing
what
that experience, man. Thank you.
That's no problem, man. I didn't want to get too heavy, but I just wanted to touch base on that because like I said, it's you never know who's going through it. You never know.
Never, man.
Yeah, we got
So
pretty
all-
heavy earlier, so no.
Yeah, we're really right.
Well, I know y'all did. That's why I was like, I didn't want to get back to the heavy because we just got finished roasting Viper about Xbox, so I didn't want to go back. No. Well, no try. We did. Where's my light?
Trying to. Good luck with that.
Oh, you know what's coming, Mike.
But seriously, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Love you guys. I will catch you guys on the next one, and I will see you guys on your live timbers tomorrow.
All right, no doubt. Yep.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Ooh, speaking of that, let's talk about that. So, when I began this live timber challenge, or live streaming 30 days in September, I had no idea that you were going to join me. How are you doing so far? We're 11 days down, man. How's it going?
I'm good. The main issues I run into is, I said it on the other stream, trying not to be repetitive. It's very, very hard, especially with trying to go for an hour and covering the points. But at the same time, I don't want to hold back and be like, hey, come back tomorrow and we'll finish the rest. Like, no, I respect people's time, so I try and just get it all out while I can. This has been the most difficult thing for me because I work in a school and I work at multiple schools and I'm in IT. So when I tell you right now, I am still getting emails, I am still getting text messages, I am still getting requests for help and assistance, and how stressful that is, that I have to tell people no. Because normally I'm the person that doesn't like to tell people no and I like to help people out, but I've literally had to just leave that alone.
Yep.
And that's what I was coming down with yesterday, because I was just getting hit, just bang, bang, bang. I had people yelling at me. I had people cussing me out. And in my job, you can't do it back. You can't respond back. You can't have any sort of a threatening manner back towards someone, even
Right.
if they're, encroaching on your personal space.
Yep.
There are a lot of times that you have to walk away from people whose ass you could clearly kick without even thinking about it twice. But
Yep. I feel you.
yesterday was one of those trying days, and I'm just like, having to go through all that, then come home and still, because I love playing with TJ. I don't want anybody to think that this is a burden. Having to come back home and still balance the family life and balance the kid and balance the girl and balance the house and find a way to stream is tough.
Yeah.
But originally when you did the stream and you were talking about doing the stream for 30 days, I legit was like, let me just go ahead and do something and just try it for once without thinking too hard about it. Because I remember last year where you did the 30, what was it, 30 videos a day or a video every day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Video every day.
And
And yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest in front of everybody, because I like to be transparent. I thought you were nuts. I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. That's unsustainable. Why would you ever do that to yourself? And I realized I was talking myself out of doing something and someone else at the same time. And I was being the very thing that I hated most, of being that negative person telling you can't do something instead of actually having the support. The other thing I looked at was, it would be a way to help push me through it, because trying to do something like this on your own is hard.
Right.
But at least if you kind of have someone else holding you accountable, it's just like working out. Like, if you try to go work out by yourself, it is hard. But when you go to the gym and you lift up your 10 and you hand it to somebody else and you tell them to lift up their 10 and they hand it back to you, you're more motivated to lift it. So
Right.
I'm like, hey, you can help push me to get to this goal of doing 30 streams in 30 days that I've never done, and I can try and help push you along with whatever funny memes or clips I could throw together.
I can't lie. I love getting on you. Like, go ahead, Trent. Let go. Let go.
I'm sorry. Let me get closer. I think my mic was too low.
Yeah, they want that booty
mics
Trent.
Yeah, is that better, everybody?
That's much better. Much better for the people. Yeah, I love pushing you, man. Cause you were talking crazy yesterday, talking about something you think about Twitter. I'm like, oh no, you're not. We too far now. We too far. We too far, Trent. We too far, baby. We a third of the way done.
But that was me being honest, because I feel that sometimes it's a bit disingenuous to say that you're happy all the time, to say that you're motivated all the time, because everyone has that point where you think those thoughts and those thoughts creep into your head. So I don't want people to have a false sense of, well, hey, I'm trying this too. Why am I feeling doubt? Why don't I feel the same motivation that I see everybody else have? Why hasn't this person experienced what I experienced? And that's why a lot of people quit, because they don't see that other person that they may be looking up to, or somebody that they're trying to follow. They don't see them struggle.
Yep.
If you're somebody who's brand new and you've watched Roberto Blake for the past 30 days or the past month, you think that the dude has never failed or struggled at anything in life.
Right.
But then if you go back and you watch his first video, and then you watch to where he's at now, you realize there was a growth process, and it wasn't all sunshine and roses along the way.
Exactly.
And so that's the same thing I try to present to other people. I'm like, look, it's not always perfect. Life is not always perfect. It is okay not to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are looking for an example of the regular everyday person who has a family and is trying to work out YouTube, I am it. I'm not perfect at all. And I just like to show people, like, hey, look, I go through stuff, you go through stuff. Same thing that you go to the barbershop and talk to regular people about.
Right. When I was having my moment this week about feeling bad about not being where I want to be as far as YouTube goes and things like that, I was just thought to myself, I mean, you might not be where you want to be, but when you come on a live stream and hit go live, there are 20 to 30 people watching you within minutes. I mean, that might seem like a small number, but in actuality, it's not. It's pretty amazing that no matter when I hit the go live button, within 5 minutes, 20 to 30 people are watching me. And I can't really take that for granted. So I think that's another reason why I want to continue this live timber, because I know that people are always watching me, no matter how I'm feeling, or if I'm feeling down, or if I'm feeling like I'm not getting to where I want to be on YouTube. People are counting on me. People are looking to me to put out content, and I don't want to let those people down. So I'm gonna continue and then do what I do.
Yep. And also, on a side note, this whole 30 days live streaming is my own personal FU to the algorithm.
I love it. I love it. I like it.
Because, at a certain point, you do tags, you do titles, you do thumbnails, you think of video ideas, you think about video length, audience retention, subscribers, likes, comments, how you present yourself, whether you swear, whether you don't swear. Did you do your call to action? Did you, leave a hook in it? There's so many things that after a while it starts to weigh you down to where you're like, look, enough. I just want to turn on the camera and go and just not worry about it. And pretty much with the live streams, I've been able to do that. I haven't had my polished intro. I haven't had my background music. I haven't had the chance to do editing. I've basically have had to turn on this camera and talk to this camera like a regular, normal, coherent human being, as opposed to, okay, that was a bad take. I got to redo that over. Oh man, I missed that point. Let me go back. I got a chance to throw all that away and just, you get the 100% me, no editing, no redos.
There you go.
Straight up for 30 days.
Real trend, baby. Real talk right there. Roberto says, well, to be fair, in the last 30 days, I put out about 2 videos exactly about how hard it is still for me. I say things getting better doesn't mean they aren't bad too. It's all perspective. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, all we can do is take it one day at a time, man. As long as we take it one day at a time and try to be better than we were yesterday, I think we will be okay.
Well, that's true. I'm saying, like, his overall presentation, how he speaks, the fact,
Right.
the camera gear, the keyboards and all that RGB stuff, all of that, because that's the thing. If people, I hate to say it like this, but it's honestly the truth. If people never see you struggle, then they always think it's easy.
Mm.
And I'm looking dead at the camera when I say that. If you have never seen someone struggle, you will always think it's easy. It's only when you see them struggle that you realize, okay, it's hard. Or, okay, I get it now.
This is an interesting point Montreal just brought up. He said people don't understand. To get even 10 people to listen to you talk at all is a feat. You can't do that in real life. You can't stand in the middle of a Walmart and get 10 people to listen to you. You're right. You get up in the middle of a Walmart and start talking, people are gonna be running away.
Look, man, I remember back in the, I gotta say this, back in the day, I had another channel, it was a Tech Rant Live. It was a separate channel.
I remember that.
I was doing the 2 channel things. I averaged maybe 3 or 4 viewers a stream, and I would go for like 2 hours, and I'd just be talking to 2 or 3 people, and then you get 10 people in the stream, 20 people in the stream. Next thing you look up, you got 50 people in the stream. How many people can get up on stage and talk to 50 people?
Not a lot, man. Not a lot.
Now, of course, that's a little different because you actually got to see faces and all that stuff. But this whole thing where you got, how many people you got in here right now? You had like 40 or 50 at one point.
42 right now.
Right. You got all these different people. They're coming in. They're saying, hey, what's up? You're basically holding conversations with an entire group, answering comments and all that. And it takes a while to go from 0 to that. It's a struggle, but you get used to it. But if anyone here had never seen my first live stream, y'all would have thought I was born with the gifted talent of talking and not being able to stop and continuously going into another sentence. I mean, like, I can sit here and look into the camera and talk and think of things off the top of my head. Sometimes I mess up a little bit, but I got a pretty good, recovery on it. Before, I used to just be like, hi, hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Rant Live. Today, we are going to talk about the iPhone 5 and honestly, why I think so many people are spending so much money on this phone. I totally don't agree. Now, do you guys see the complete difference in between how I used to be? And like, I know myself, that's how I used to be. And now I can actually talk with you guys and not feel like I'm a stick in the mud.
No doubt. It's funny. I remember, I think it was a little while ago, I went back and watched my very first video, and God, it was so night and day from how I am now. I was like, yeah, today we're going to talk about the Xbox. Oh, not the Xbox. God, sorry, my mind of that. Today we're going to talk about the iPhone 10s, 2 months in, blah, blah. I'm like, who the hell is that? Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Yeah, like the more, it's about anything in life. The more you do something, the better you get. Repetition is literally the father of learning, man. The more you do something, the more repetitions you get, the better you get, the more confidence you get, and then you gradually grow and blossom. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay, I wanna go back to this iPhone 120 hertz thing real quick.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are mad that the iPhone's not gonna have 120 hertz display, and I'll put it to you guys like this. You know how Apple is. They're not going to put a feature in there that is not completely polished and that they have complete control over. And a lot of people are saying, well, why can't they do 90 hertz? Because Apple doesn't have booty anything. Apple goes all in or they don't go in at all. Right now, the 120 hertz display, it comes with compromises. The only device that doesn't have a compromise right now is the OnePlus 8 Pro. On the Ultra, the Samsung devices, they're compromised. Yes, they have a 120 hertz panel, but you can't operate it at full HD resolution. You either got 120 hertz and 1080p, or you don't use 120 hertz. And right now, when you use a 120 hertz display on the Samsung, it impacts battery life. And we know that Apple made great strides with battery life last year. So they're not going to put a 120 hertz panel on an iPhone at the detriment of battery life. So if the technology is not where they want it to be yet, then that's why we're waiting yet one more year for the iPhone to have a 120 hertz display, because Apple doesn't feel like the technology is up to snuff to provide that premium Apple experience that we're accustomed to. So that's another reason why we probably don't have the 120 hertz panel on iPhone, because they really couldn't get it to optimize. They really couldn't get it to maximize the optimization with not impacting battery life. So that's probably where that's at.
Hey, I have no opposition to that whatsoever. Like I said,
Wait a minute, you're tech rant. You always have opposition.
No, I'm saying like, but that's the thing I want people to realize about is a lot of times people think about in tech that you just have to be on one side. No, the other side can make a valid point and you can agree with it. That's the cool thing about this, about having a discussion. It's not you don't care about 120 hertz and that I have to automatically care. You know, if, like I say, if you don't care about 120 hertz and someone else cares, I can agree with you both. It's just the way that we go about the whole comparisons. You know, does it destroy the phone? Absolutely not. You know, if you feel like if you're a customer, I'll say this, if you're a customer and something does not have what you want, it does not mean that that's not going to work for someone else. You just don't buy it because you don't want to spend your money on something you don't want.
Right. Yeah.
And by the same token, as people say, well, you know, most people can't tell the difference. There are some people who can, and there's some people who are willing to pay for that.
Right. Yep.
So the door swings both ways.
Yeah. At the end of the day, get what you like. Don't matter what anybody else thinks, as long as you enjoy it. Doesn't matter. And truth, never forget the night I made Vyp throwing shade. I'm pretty sure our buddy Tech Ran could make a meme out of that, or meme out of that.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of tired today, and I leave myself to about one meme a day.
You're right.
I did 2 yesterday, so
You're
that
meme
makes up
machine. Renee said YouTube recommends MKBHD first video to me like twice a week. I've seen that. I haven't seen it recently, but I have seen that about a month or so ago. They were recommending his first video a lot. Like I think it was the anniversary of him being on YouTube for like 10 years or something. They were recommending his first video a lot that day. But yeah, just to go back to get Mark Kevin's first video and to where he is that now, it's all dark different.
Yeah, that and it was also around the time when he was making that climb to 10 million. And they were doing all those like how does Marquez win videos and stuff. And I was watching those videos and they would show him as a kid. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people were like, wait, he was a kid once? Let's go back and see.
Oh, Simply Popped, have I watched it? Hell yes, I watched it. One of the most funniest unboxing videos I've ever seen in my life. So this unboxing video, y'all, I'm not going to go to it or anything like that. Y'all just have to go watch it. But it's a 33-minute video of Flossy Carter unboxing and giving his first impressions of the Surface Duo. About 30 minutes into the video, he realized that he was using the damn thing wrong. It's hilarious. It's hilarious because he get like as he was saying, his frustration level were increasing throughout the video because he couldn't get it to do what he wanted to do. And then at the 30-minute mark, he realized that he was doing it wrong.
But that's what we need to see.
Well, right?
That's what we need to see.
Yeah.
As much as I love these perfect videos that are shot by these wonderful creators, sometimes you need to see somebody mess up so you realize you're not crazy too.
Right. Yep. And that's one of the things I love about Flossy Carter. He's real, raw, and unapologetic. You know, he realized that he was using it wrong. And then it took him 30 minutes to realize he was using it wrong. But like he said, he could have edited it out, but he didn't edit it out because he thought it was funny. And again, that shows us that he's human. He made mistakes too. But watching him get pissed because it wasn't working right, didn't realize that he used it wrong.
Yo, oh, I had the same thing happen to me because back when the iPhone 10 came out, right? I was coming from the 8. Now, what is one thing that you've always been able to do with the 8 that was brand new with the 10? Turning off the phone, right? Now, my dumb self opened up the box. No, I didn't even do an unboxing. I just opened it straight up. I went to go, turn on the phone and get everything going or whatever. And so I got everything going and I'm like, all right, fine. So I go to hit the power button because I just wanted to turn it off so I could, let it charge and do its own thing and charge back up. And Siri just kept popping up. I'm like, what? Siri? Okay. All right. Maybe I pressed the button. Maybe I pressed the button once and that's Siri. Okay. So then I double tapped it and then Apple Pay came up and I'm like, okay, maybe I triple tap it. And then that still didn't work. And so then I held it down again and Siri came back up. I'm like, Lord, what am I doing? So finally somebody was like, hey, you idiot, you have to hold down both buttons at the same time. I'm like, you do? And they were like, yeah, that's the new way you turn off the iPhone. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. And so I'm holding down both buttons. And then finally it comes up and then it starts going, whoop, whoop.
He called the police. He called
naturally, I was curious to figure out what this noise was. And then I'm looking down and it says emergency SOS. I'm like, wait, does this thing call 911? And then this is like calling, and I'm like,
oh God!
I mean,
yeah.
And there I was, like
oh boy,
3 years some odds ago or whatever, trying to be a tech reviewer and trying to review this $1,000 phone that was so insane. And I'm like, oh my God, how many people have messed up and called the police with this phone? 911 operators must be mad at us.
Probably. Bruh. I had my iPhone 11 in my car one day, and it must have been a hot day or something. And the phone, like, for whatever reason, they like froze and messed up. And somehow, in the midst of it freezing and messing up, I didn't even do this. It ended up calling 911. I'm like, oh, damn. I was like, take her. I'm like, stop. But unfortunately, the call went through before I could hang up. So 911 tried to call me back, but I didn't answer. Like, damn it, don't do that no more. But yeah, it's crazy how these phones could call 911 on accident, man. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm cool with Apple, but I just think that was just okay. Look, if I want to turn for the past, I don't know how many years of technology and phones, and if you hold down the power button long enough, eventually the device will cut off. No matter how long you hold it down, it won't turn off.
Apple did some weird things with the newer model iPhone. Definitely. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. That's just me being old man Trent. I know all the 14-year-olds like, oh, you idiot.
Right. It's so funny how time flies, man. I remember back in the day when we were like doing things, oh, you stupid, and out there they're laughing at us like, oh, you stupid. Whew. So I don't know anything else going on in tech. We are a week away from the release of the Galaxy Fold 2. I have not got any shipping information from mine yet, so I'm still waiting for Verizon to send it away. I know some people
live vicariously through you guys.
Hey, I've been living vicariously. I mean, I've been living through you people unboxing their duos and everything like that. I know some people already got tracking information for their folds. I think from like AT&T and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, they're on the way apparently, but not fast enough for me because I'm ready. You know what's funny? Like, I think if you guys follow me on Twitter, I think I mentioned this on Twitter, but I wanted to watch the football game last night, but I didn't have any live TV services installed yet. So I had my iPhone in my hand, and I was looking up information for Sling, and I wanted to sign up. But I'm like, I kind of want a bigger screen so I can see everything that Sling has to offer. So I ended up going to my iPad to like check out what Sling was offering, and then I ended up signing up on the iPad.
Hey, I'll be back in a second. I gotta go check on something.
Yeah, you go check on the little one. Yep, do that. So in the midst of me going to my iPad to sign up for Sling to watch the football game last night, I actually found myself thinking, yo, I wish I had a Fold 2 in my hand, because if I had the Fold 2 in my hand, then I wouldn't need to go. I wouldn't need to go to the iPad, because I would have had the pad in my hand. I would have folded out the Fold, looked at all the information. I would have looked at on the bigger screen, and then I would have been able to like sign up on my Sling on the Fold, and then like that. So it's funny because that's the first time I ever thought about a foldable that way, and I thought about an actual use case for me personally for a foldable. So I'm really looking forward to getting the Galaxy Fold 2 in my hands next week at some point, and seeing how many more use cases I can come up with, because I just thought it was like uber weird for me to have like the phone in my hand and then go to the iPad and thinking to myself, if I had the Fold in my hand, I would have never had needed my iPad, because I could just pull unopened the Fold and did everything on there. So yeah, and the Fold, when you fold it out, is almost as big as an iPad mini. So yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. All right, LB, I'm gonna hit you with the link, but I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here, man. But I'll hit you with the link real quick. We'll see what's going on. See what LB got on his mind. Been a while since we talked to LB. All right, dude. Link is in your Twitter DM. You know what to do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the Fold 2 in my hands. I've been so many rave reviews and things like that. And like I said, I'm still kind of confused personally on what use cases I would have for a foldable, but I found one. So if I found that one, there might be more that I could find. And look at that. The popcorn man is quick. Yo, what is this? Why are you in the dark? What is going on? There you go.
It's halftime. I'm at my son's football game.
Ah, what's on your mind, man?
Hey, what's good?
What's up?
Hey, no, I was that 120 hertz thing. That was getting at me, because I'm like, most of the people that have 120 hertz on their Android devices, they don't even run their phones at 120 hertz because they're trying to save battery life.
Yup.
So why are you complaining about a feature that you're going to end up using for the first week and then turning off because you're going to complain about the battery life?
It's funny you say that, because I had the Note 20 Ultra, which, as you all know, has the 120 hertz display. Didn't even use it. I used it the 60 hertz because I wanted the full resolution and I wanted to save battery life. So to your point, I had 120 hertz on my phone, didn't even use it.
That doesn't cease to amaze me. And then and you probably think this to be odd coming from me, but I'm on board with Apple's Pro moniker.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I am surprised. Explain.
Because from a business
Trenton, like what?
So this is the reasoning behind it, okay? And this is where I'm going with it. Just saying, and I personally feel that Apple has done this already. Just seeing the landscape, okay, the way everybody buys phones are going to change over the next year. You got a year where the average consumer has been stuck at home and not working, right? They're not going to spend the money that they were spending on those monthly plans that were so easy to pay, because everybody's monthly bills have to go down. So then that $30 a month for a flagship is not going to be as easy a pill to swallow come the next 8 to 10 months, right? So that's going to be cut down. So what is everybody going to shoot for? Everybody's going to shoot for that entry-level device to that mid-range device, which on Apple's prices, the mid-range device is their entry-level device, all right?
Yep.
So, well, bar the SE, because this was the first year of the SE. Now, as you go to a separation of the devices, the Pro moniker, you got the Pro Mac, you got the Mac, you got the MacBook, and you got the MacBook Pro. So why wouldn't you expand that over your mobile devices? That's what you've been recognized for.
That's a whole different. You comparing apples to oranges, man.
How?
Because the separation between an iPhone 11 and 11 Pro is a hell of a lot different from the separation between a MacBook and a MacBook Pro.
No, not in a marketing sense of things. This is the top dog because it carries pro moniker. This is the entry level because it doesn't. It's a simple case scenario.
I'm talking about real world application. I ain't talking about marketing.
Only people that worry about real world application is us, the geeks. No one else does.
Mm-hmm.
The people that have the money to buy the pro are going to buy the pro simply because it's a pro, not because what it does. We're the only ones that look at what it does and what it can do. We're the only ones. We fail to realize that. No one else cares at the end of the day. They only care for as long as the guy at T-Mobile or AT&T or whatever store they're at is saying, oh, it does this, it does this, it does this. Their eyes get this big, and if they can afford the pro, they're going to buy the pro. By the time they make it home, they've forgotten everything that he said, and they're going to use the phone for the same thing that they use the entry level for.
Okay, that we can agree on because as me and Trent were talking about earlier, from pro to non-pro, they all do the same thing as far as iPads and iPhone goes. So we agree there.
I mean, from a certain point of view, I can agree. But by using that same logic, there are plenty of people that can clearly afford an iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, but since there's really no difference besides aesthetics and extra camera, they choose to go with the regular iPhone.
Right.
A lot of people will look at it and they'll be like, okay, what's the discernible difference for me? And they go with the regular one over the Pro. So I don't think it's always the affordability factor.
Well,
and then even if it was, what's the difference every month?
I didn't say affordability factor. I'm saying that the Pro is top dog. No Pro, not top dog. That's the only thing the consumer cares about. This is the premium. This is the best that I can get, whether I'm going to use it or not, whether I know what it's going to do or not, is whether I can afford it or I want it. And this is the entry level. So you're going to get that customer that knows nothing about anything, right? And they're going to say, hey, I want an iPhone. If that customer can't afford the Pro model, all they want is an iPhone. They're not going to even look at Pro because it says Pro. I don't want that. That's too big for me. That's too much for me. It does too much for me. Like my father. If my father went into the store and the only choice he had to buy was an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
My father is going to hear Pro and say, I don't want that phone because I can't do anything with that phone. I can barely dial on the phone that I got. And he's going to go in and buy the bottom tier phone.
Okay, that is true for a certain level of customer, but at the same time, people, if there is a benefit to paying more, will generally want to know, and if it benefits them to pay more, then they'll pay more. I don't think it's as cut and dry as what you were saying.
For what I'm saying, for the average consumer, it is because the Pro has a bigger screen. That's more. That's all they can. This is the stuff that they can relate to. It has a bigger screen and an extra camera. That's more. That just put it in a Pro bracket for them. That's it. It's us that decide, wait, what can this extra camera do? What abilities does it have? That's only us. The average consumer knows that there's an extra camera on the Pro line.
I agree to a certain extent, but I'm saying, like, so here's where I'm trying to come from. To me, I'll say to me, the average consumer will still, or the regular customer, whatever. I don't know about that term anymore. Once again, if there is a benefit of paying more to get more, they're willing to do that. Whereas if there's no benefit to pay more, you know what I'm saying? Just flat out saying that they look at Pro or whatever, but if that helps them do whatever they need to do better, or if they need a bigger screen to see or whatnot, then that's more of a need or something that can benefit them. if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense to me.
What I see what you're trying to say, but this is what I'm saying. We're talking about a phone, right? And
Right.
even in the tech world, right? Like, I would say, and this probably agitate a lot of people, especially in our community, but even in the tech community, right? Most of the people in the tech community don't even use half the capabilities of their device.
That's
All
true.
right.
Yep.
So the thing about it is, when you go to a regular consumer, that you might as well cut that down to a third or even less. Okay. So the only thing that the average consumer knows is this has more and this one doesn't. Pro and not pro. It's layman's terms for the average consumer. So in the advertisement, in a business advertisement sense of things, this is telling the average consumer, the consumer that can care less about any specs or anything, this is top dog, this isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing.
I mean, to your, you have a point though. It's hard to disagree with you because, like you said, in the end, the regular Joe, like you said, they're going to see iPhone Pro, and then they're going to make their decision based off of that. They're not going to even think about what one does over the other. They're probably going to think that Pro means more expensive. Then I'm definitely stay away from the more expensive one, and they're going to go with the 11 or the iPhone because it's not that expensive. And actually the sales numbers back you up. For the last 2 years, it's not been the iPhone Pros that have sold the most. It's been the iPhone 11 and iPhone 10R, I should say. So they're increasing to what you are saying, sir.
Yeah, so that's where I was with that. And then I actually want to mention on what you were saying earlier, at the beginning of your stream.
Yep.
People don't realize that once you've built, you know how the saying goes, heavy as a crown?
Yep.
You know, once you've built a reputation that you have to live up to, people don't understand how rough that is. You can have the reputation of being just a chipper, happy person, right? And you can wake up in the worst mood in the world. But since everyone holds you to the reputation of being this chipper, happy person, guess what you end up doing when you go amidst other people?
Being chipper, happy.
You know, which a lot of people don't understand. Like, even because I got ticked off with the whole thing with Skip Bayless also, because a lot of people, like the last 3 months, right? You would think that this was like the greatest moment of my life, right? This has been the most stressful period in my life, period.
Right.
I mean, and I've gone through periods where I've had me, my wife, and 4 kids living in my parents' basement. That has not been as stressful as what I've had to deal with in the last 3 months. And to be honest with you, if it had not been for Kimmy, I probably would have lost my mind. Kimmy came in and she doesn't know it, but she came in and bailed me out like you wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? I had a point where I've got this Apple Watch, and every single time I got a new order, my anxiety would go through the roof because I didn't see a new order as like, wow, this is great. I saw a new order as new responsibility, right? Because I got 800 orders in one day. There's virtually impossible for you to please that many people, right? Because you're not going to get the orders out in time. You're not. Then from there, I got 100 orders. No, I got 200 orders for like 8 days straight after the 800 orders. Then from there, I got like another 100 orders every day for another week straight. So the whole entire time, I'm getting all these orders, and guess what everybody kept telling me? And I'm trying to tell people like, man, this is rough. And they'll go, yeah, but that's a good problem to have. I can't tell you every single time someone told me that's a good problem to have, I think a part of me died. Because as a business person, I know that I've got over 2,000 customers and 1,000 of them are going to be pissed off at me because they're not going to get their order for another 30 days, right? And we all know how rough the internet can be. So I got to try to keep the internet happy because these are all internet orders. So I've got to do, so guess what ends up happening? I made $100,000 in 3 days, right? But I ended up spending $100,000 in a month, making sure all these customers remain happy. So just think, people don't see all of that on the outside, right?
Right.
But man, I'm telling you.
Yep. And that's the thing that people don't think about. People always thinking about, well, what about me? And what about no, it's not always about you.
Right.
When whoops.
I'm sorry, guys. A phone call came in right while I was talking.
He's trying to kill us. He's trying to kill us.
That's the thing that people don't understand, man. That like I literally wanted to quit some mornings.
And that's the thing. When back during the whole prize thing and I won the popcorn and whatnot, and originally you were like, hey, you know, here's the sample bags and all that stuff. I'm like, look, get it to me whenever you get it to me. Okay. I'm not sweating the popcorn because I already know you got paying customers, people who paid their money and they're waiting. And the last thing I want to do is add stress to anyone that's already got enough stress going on. So that's where I'm like, look, this man to show pictures of how many boxes he got to pack up and order. It's the middle of a pandemic. Shipping already sucks.
Yep.
I ain't trying to make that man's day any worse. And I'm like, you know, whenever it gets here, it gets here.
And that's why I don't come to see you that often because I don't want to be coming in there trying to mooch off. I feel like I'm mooching off you. I mean, you always take care of me anytime I walk into the shop, but sometimes I feel like I'm mooching. So that's why I stay away for the most part, man. Like, I know you be doing your thing. I mean, I walk in the shop every once, what, 3 to 4 months at some point? Because I don't want to be mooching like that.
Yeah, and so that I was just saying that part was because a lot of times people don't see, they just see success.
Right.
They don't see the burden that come. People don't. I don't even think people realize that there's a burden. There's a certain level of burden that comes with success.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it from the standpoint that you're Marquez, right? I mean, yeah, you see these videos, these top-notch videos, and y'all think probably easy for him and things like that. But I'm pretty sure Marquez has some stuff going on when he's making this video because he has to impress 12 million people each and every time. And if he slips up even a little bit, that he gonna hear about it. So think about just the stress level that he has and people that are up there in his tier have. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah, because that's the thing. People don't realize once you build a reputation for yourself of a certain level, hey, Kimmy will tell you, I stress out every single time we get an email or a DM of a customer that says their product wasn't what it supposed to be.
Hey man, I'm not gonna even sit here and pretend like I know what you're going through. But I'm just glad that you're fighting it and you're fighting a good fight and you keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, you know what he's going through, Viper. You're in IT, bro.
Yeah.
you know what it's like to get a ticket that you worked on and someone say, no, you ain't do it right, or something's messed up, or you deleted my data. You need to come back and fix XYZ. You know, it exists.
Oh,
you know what unreasonable clients and customers are like when it comes to these PC issues. It's the same way, like I can see it like the same way LB's describing it. bruh, it's the same thing I've been dealing with all week long.
Oh yeah.
All week long. And it's people that you can't please them. Even if you do it for free, it ain't enough.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So when Skip said that, man, I had the same reaction. I'm like, man, he was speaking, instead of speaking from a announcer, or not an announcer, but a news perspective, he was speaking from a fan perspective. And that's a super fan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He wasn't speaking from the perspective that he should have been speaking from. And that, I think that's where he crossed the line. Because, you know, fans don't care. They just want
Right.
to see what they got paid for. You know,
Yep.
what they paid for.
Yeah,
But
he was way out of line.
But that's the split though, because there's the fan that is a fan, but they also understand the person, right? So you got people who are fans.
Well, when I
of
say
the-
fan, I'm saying fan of the sport.
right, but I'm
You-
saying even of the sport, they still realize that that's a person. Where you have what I would call fans who are only looking to get the most out of their dollar.
Or the entertainment factor.
Right. It's the entertainment factor more than the fan. It's, well, I paid X amount of dollars. So what if he's injured? Get him out on the court because I paid to come see this man play, regardless of whatever injury he may has or whatever personal thing that I paid to do that. Now, certain circumstances that makes sense. Like if you sell out a concert and you say that you're not showing up because of, let's say, not a legitimate reason, right? Just because someone gave you the wrong bottle of water or something stupid like that, then that makes sense. But there are certain levels of acceptability. And even then, they got like programs in place where you can get a refund and something like that. What made it so egregious was it's not like Dax didn't come out and say that I'm refusing to play. I'm refusing to throw a touchdown. Put
Yeah.
me on the bench and play someone else. I'm not playing a game because I'm depressed. He just came out and admitted that he had some depression and that affected him. That man did not quit in the middle of a football game because of something and walked out on people. That's the part that made it so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I got to go back in here. This halftime is over, you guys. I just want to. I heard you guys. I was like, man, I gotta give my little 2 cents, as it were.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Keep your head up, baby.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, man.
Definitely.
But
you have a good night.
I'm about to roll out too because TJ about to run into one of these walls that.
Man, you've been streaming for almost you've been streaming for damn near 4.5 hours at this point.
Yeah, but it's a relief. Like I said, all the stuff I dealt with this week, it just felt good to do something in that I wanted to do for once.
Well, hopefully you had a good time while you were on here for like the 2 hours until you were on here, man. And I'm watching you and Ben earlier, so you've been busy tonight.
It's been a good conversation, and I'm glad I've been able to share my point of view with other people.
And I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man, no problem. All right.
Have a good night, man.
Peace.
So, down to your boy Viper. Listen, I know this wasn't really the typical Friday night stream, but a lot of you all, especially earlier on when I was going through the crazy stuff, the heavy stuff, there were a lot of you all listening. I had some like 60 people at a time earlier listening to me go through this heavy stuff, and I appreciate you all hanging out tonight. Like I said, I know this is not the typical stream. I know that we really didn't talk about tech. We talked about tech, but kind of got delayed. But I appreciate you all hanging out for the real stuff because we need to talk about these things. You understand? Like I said earlier, I don't want people to feel like they have to hold in their emotions just because they reach some type of successful level and then they feel like they can't reach out because people dehumanize them. I had mentioned this on Twitter. When you get to a level of success, no matter what if you're a creator or athlete or a top level celebrity or whatever, people dehumanize you because for whatever reason they kind of they deitize you, and in the process of deitizing you, they just don't understand that you have thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I appreciate you guys sitting through the heavy stuff. It was like what? But damn, I think it was about an hour of heavy stuff. So I appreciate you guys. We've been live 3 hours. It was an hour of pretty heavy stuff. So I appreciate you sitting through the first hour of the heavy stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. As far as tomorrow, obviously obviously you guys know that I am in the midst of Live Timber, which means I am live streaming every single day this month. We are on day 11. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be back tomorrow. It's probably going to be late tomorrow afternoon or early tomorrow evening because everybody streams in the morning, and then I got something to do with iMore tomorrow afternoon, so I got to wait till I'm finished with iMore before I come out tomorrow afternoon or whatever. So look for me tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow evening, and then we'll be back for Live Timber. But once again, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for rocking out with me. If you guys super chatted tonight, thank you guys for super chatting. Usually I have the ticker across the stream. I didn't want to do that tonight just because it was a different type of topic, and I didn't want it to come off the wrong way. So I said we're going to bypass the ticker tonight. So that's why you guys didn't see the super chat ticker. But I appreciate you guys super chatting. Seriously appreciate it, man. But again, thank you guys so much. I love the fact that I can go live, and every time I go live, I have at least 30 of you all hanging and rocking with me every time I go live, especially given the fact that I've been going live every day this month, and I'll continue to go live every day this month. So again, truly, thank you guys so much. It was a damn good conversation. Hopefully this stream will help somebody, whoever's in need of help. Hopefully it will help you. It'll give you some type of light in your life. And yeah, hopefully the stream helps you out in some way. I appreciate that. But until the next time, people, this your boy Viper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.